is a rough road, but a catalyst for change in a society is usually persona non grata with those who have been the beneficiaries of the system. A catalyst for change has to be able to withstand the insults, the humiliations, the abuses, and the slurs. What's wrong with my running for president of this country? After all, for 15 years, I have been the ghostwriter for a lot of them.
Do you think America is ready for a president that is both black and a woman?
America hasn't been ready for a lot of things. America wasn't ready for the tremendous civil rights movement that resulted in the Voting Rights Act that gave the black people of this country a great deal of freedom in terms of what had been denied to them. America wasn't ready for a Catholic president, they say. We will not know whether America is ready for me or not.
Welcome to another episode of RBN Live Tuesdays. I'm one of your hosts. I'm CJ. I'm starting it out today a little early. This segment about Stacey Abrams has been pushed back like four times. So wanted to come in and kind of cover that along with some other things related before we get started with the entire panel.
This is a rough road.
Love this clip by the great Shirley, or Auntie Shirley, as we would say. But yeah, so just starting about 45 minutes early. Thank for those that are able to join a little bit early for this segment. I wanted to make sure we get it in before the election. Or at least now, before the election is over. So that's why I'm squeezing this in right here. But if you're here, make sure you like. I'm going to get to a chat check and a like check in just a second. But I'll cover let me talk about some of the things that we're going to be, talking about today. So, of course, there's the election that's happening today, midterm elections. The balance of power is at stake. All the polls are indicating, are leaning towards the Republicans for sure taking the House and having a more than 50% chance of winning the Senate, barely over 50%. So, and democracy is at stake according to the Democrats. And my question is, if it's at stake, if the Republicans win, what are the Democrats going to say the day after Republicans win? Because if they're saying those people, if they get elected, democracy's over, and then they get elected, what are they going to do? So I'm curious to see what happens. All indications that the Republicans are going to win. Herschel Walker has taken the lead in a couple of polls. Who's the other one? And also Dr. Oz has taken the lead in a couple of polls. So just going over a bunch of stuff about midterms. I'll show you the two graphics. We'll be starting off with this one first. This is the first topic. And I guess it's kind of overarching for the entire thing because it really does come down to democracy comes down to Georgia. And I'm laughing because it's not really democracy, but in using their framing, democracy comes down to Georgia. But there is a narrative that black men aren't coming out. They're not polling at the same numbers as black women for this race. And if they did, she would win, which seems to be the same case last time. But there's a focus and there's going to be blame placed on black men in this case. So, but we'll get to more of that. And this is the other graphic. Nick will be joining soon also before everybody joins at 4. Or those, I think JB for sure, Rome. I'm not sure Sabby. She comes usually every other week and she was here last week. So I'm not sure if she'll be able to join. But most important election of our lives yet again. And brought to you by the ruling class, because look at who other than a ruling class could provide us with these candidates. Look at that picture. Doesn't it make you want to vomit? Look, We have the fake progressive John Fetterman. Then we have the sellout Stacey Abrams. Then we have Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe. Then we have the terrible Donald Trump in every way. Then we have Herschel Walker, clearly has been affected by his time in the NFL, and Dr. Oz. Only the ruling class can put together such a misfit of people and claim that this is democracy, right? So some of the topics, most important election of our lifetimes, again, is democracy on the ballot. Walker versus Warnock, we'll kind of talk about, I'm talking now broadly about the entire stream, not this first hour. The first hour is Stacey Abrams, but broadly speaking about the entire RBN Live today. And this is our election coverage. I guess I should put that up, but this is our election coverage, just so it's a little bit longer stream. Walker versus Warnock. We'll talk about Fetterman versus Dr. Oz, because those two races is what's going to happen, what's going to change the balance, or could change the balance of powers. We'll talk about some polling. We'll talk about some of the other races that are going on, like the one in Arizona. Rubio, we may talk about the Rubio race, but he's going to win that race. And then the one in Ohio and some other races. Then Democrats pitch to voters. We're also going to discuss in the stream today. And like I said, Stacey Abrams' black problem that's how it's listed in the description. We'll also give our predictions, like who we think will win. And that'll probably sum it up. I'm sure there'll be some sort of surrounding topics that are spun off from one or more of the things that I've already talked about. So, just expect that. All right. So that was a lot to sort of get to kind of explain what's happening. So this is RBN Election Day coverage. So let's kind of make this a little more professional. So RBN Election Day coverage, and we'll be talking about a lot of things. But the first thing, like I said, Stacey Abrams. There's a lot like to talk about Stacey Abrams. We're going to talk about first some of the good, not good, but the things that's happening in the campaign. Then we'll go more into the issue she's having with black men. Then we'll kind of talk about her corruption. And Brianna Joy Gray just brought on a reporter from Politico who broke this down in an article, and it's unbelievable. And of course, corporate media is not going to touch it whatsoever. But first, let's get some. Let's do a chat check and check our likes. But hang on a second here. Cool. All right. So Nick is in the backstage. He'll be up in about 5 or 10 minutes. So just know that, everybody. Nick is already here. JB went. Did he go live late? Oh, he went live. Are you saying he went? Oh no, this comment was sent before we started. Okay, so never mind. That was like an hour and a half before we started. But anyway, yes, JB had a show, and it'll be ending soon if it hasn't already ended. I'm second. What's up? Rick is here. What's up, Rick? Hey, fam. It's Swery. I think it's Swery is how you say that. Revolutionaries assemble. I love when you do that. You do that every time, Roman. And Zach, hello, RBN family. Anon user. Good afternoon, all. Yes, Sam, that was Shirley. What's up, RBN family? That's Lisa. Tonight's prediction: liberal tears followed by blaming minorities. You could say I could go with that. Yes, I could go with that. as you're arriving, because I can see the viewing numbers going up. As you're arriving, please like the stream. Lots of topic, but it's all centered around the election day. Today we're going to cover races, but this first hour we're going to talk about Stacey Abrams. But first, let me get to a like check and a chat check. So first, our likes, we're at 90 or 100 likes right now, and we're at 175 people. Can we push that to 175? Let's jump our numbers up. Let's get about 300 or 400 people in today for this discussion about the election, because you might be out watching us in line while you're voting. So this conversation could be useful if you're in line somewhere, especially, and the line takes a long time. In California, literally, I'm not in line. There's no line. Like I'm not in line. I walk in, the entire process, like a midterm, since the ballot it'll be shorter, it'll be like a 5-minute process, including like parking, going in there, pulling my ballot, and then walking out. There's just so many places to vote. You know, in metropolitan California, it's just, especially Southern California, it's just very easy to do. So, yeah, let's push to 150, 150 likes. There goes Nick. What's up, Nick? What's going on? Let's give him a second.
Oh, sorry, guys. Hey, what's up, my friends?
No worry, I'm reading comments.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm glad you're able to make it. Welcome to RBN Live. This should be a good one. This is our election coverage, and like CJ said, and I saw Jimmy release a segment as well, doing a compilation of all the Democrats making excuses, and guess who they already blaming? They're already blaming black men. I saw a segment where they were doing, where they were talking about a shift between Latino voters, and they're like,
Yeah.
But I literally just saw a poll that showed that white women still prefer the GOP in the Republican Party. So the Democratic Party has been running, and they've been running a pro-cop agenda. They've been running a pro-war agenda, a pro-Wall Street agenda, to win over white women, and then they failed to do that. And now they're blaming black people and Latinos for not showing up more for them. And what I always want to point out, and the people who always left out that show that this democracy is a sham, are the people who are so disenfranchised by this capitalist democracy that they don't even vote. We need to start focusing on building coalitions where we get the people who don't vote. And I know these people; they are my kin. Like I'm lucky I'm not surrounded with like black liberals or like super Obama fanboys, because most of my people, they don't really care about politics that much. And I share the story all the time. I had a conversation with my sister. Everyone know I'm in politics now. So I remember she was like, "Yeah, I never really like talk politics with my siblings like that for real." She's like, "I never really consider politics, but what you talk about is cool." She said she don't really care about politics because she knows full shit. Now my sister cannot do a live stream explaining the corruption of the Democratic and Republican Party. She can't write an essay in Substack to explain why she feels disenfranchised by the Democratic Party. She inherently knows that the politics is corrupt. And there's so many people like that. They may not be able to write a dissertation over our failed electoral politics system, but they know they not get shit from our elections. And that's what RBN here to represent. We are here to represent those people. And we need a game plan, a way to bring a coalition of working class people who are either empowered by the system or disenfranchised by the system, so we can challenge the system. Now, this is Glenn. I saw this today. I'm gonna probably pull up a few receipts. Once again, this is more of a chill stream for me, because this is more of us watching the clown show, the capitalist wreck. I take it more seriously when I cover, like when I'm doing like a report on Venezuela or Colombia. To me, this is me laughing at whoever loses. Like whoever loses, I'm gonna be laughing at. But here, Glenn exposing the talking points that the Democratic Party put out, where they say, "Oh, if you don't care about voting, if you don't think this is the most important election, you must be privileged." This is what they say. No, and like Glenn explains here in this tweet, every day we hear from lectures from media elites, mainstream dim leftists, and various celebrities that non-voting is only for the privileged. In fact, non-voters are disproportionately poor and non-white. and say they don't vote because they believe it doesn't matter. And I want to mention this because I've been seeing stuff like manipulations of polls, and I've seen this my entire life, so I can tell you guys when I see it. They do stuff like this. They say all the Democratic voters, if you look at Black Democratic voters, like 40% of them, they are very concerned about crime. Who's that 40%? That 40% is 40% of Black boomers and Black liberals. So guys, do not listen to them with their pro-police propaganda. So they will do stuff like, oh my God, all the registered voters, 70% of them reject defund the police. But it's like, bro, 50% of the people are not voting because they're tired of living in the police state. So if you polled everyone, those numbers would be different. And I've seen that they've been doing like small manipulation. Oh, all the voters, they said, I saw one poll, 25% of registered voters think our democracy is under threat. And I'm like, how are you guys bragging about that? That's 25% of half. You guys understand? They said 25% view the threats of democracy as the biggest threat to our, the biggest issue for them. 25% of half. 25% of registered voters. So Democrats are wondering why they lose. And I'm gonna talk about this one on George Galloway show tomorrow. They fucking running on threats to our democracy, January 6th. And there was a mountain full of liberals and progressives, like Bernie supporters, who got upset with me because, and me and Rome, actually, because we were making jokes about January 6th. And I said multiple times throughout this year, during the trial, while it was trending, so they saw it, that was really pissed them off. Well, I was like, if you guys think the American people care about this stupid ass January 6th drunk redneck rebellion, and you guys run that as your main issue, and you wonder why you guys lose it. Now they say, well, the reason why we lost because the far left, they lost favor with the far left. I wonder if Warren Joe gonna post this. I just had MSNBC on the morning. I want to see what they was gonna say, and they was talking about how Democrats are struggling with Latino voters. And CJ, I swear to God, they contradicted themselves in the same sentence. They said they had this Democratic propagandist on. He was like,
of course.
He was like, well, the reason why Democrats are losing with Latinos is because they really out of touch. I'm really disappointed with the party because they really listen way too much to the far left. The far left defund the police, the Bernie wing. They are dragging this country. They are dragging this party to the left and destroying us. And then they were like, okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna talk. They passed it to the reporter who was talking to Latinos on the ground, and they literally said the Latinos was tired of the bullshit fake woke language that they use, and they feel like that they pretend that they care about Latinos and race issues while ignoring economic issues. They said that in the same report. That Latinos told me that Democrats not really paying attention to the economy. They care more about using woke language and pretend they care about us. They feel like they're manipulating people. That's the left critique, not the right. That's them saying that you guys are woke imperialists. You guys are bastardizing our language while not doing anything for us. That's why we live in the party. They spun that to say that, oh, Latinos are leaving the party because they're turned off by the far left, as if the people who are anti-war, the people who are anti-capitalist, are the people in the Democratic Party using these woke language terms. No, the real. Go ahead.
To piggyback off what you said earlier in these polls is like when they say, Black people are just as concerned about crime, and they leave. This is propaganda. You leave absent the finish, because that assumes that Black people and white people in the poll that are saying we are concerned about crime want the same solutions.
Yes.
That's what that assumes. It makes you just go, look, Black people are concerned too. What do you think that means? Because I'm concerned, but that in no way means I want you to send cops. That means I want you to put jobs there. I want you to put opportunity there. That's my solution. Yes, but I would have the same concern. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They leave that absent.
No, I don't want to say this because you brought up a good point. Once again, I'll watching Warren Joe's coverage just so I can tell you guys what they've been saying. They interview, they show a pre-recorded interview with this Black lady, and what you said is exactly what they did. They was like, what are your concerns with this election? And she said, well, I'm kind of concerned about crime. I think we need to do something about it. She didn't say put more cops on the streets. And I've seen multiple examples of this where they say, yeah, we need to do something about crime. I'm concerned about that. But they don't mention putting, why would they want to put more cops on the street when they haven't done anything to solve violent crime? And that's why I go back to the polls that I reported on that no one talked about. That and they never asked the question this way because they asked the polls about how you want to address crime, right? So there are polls that show defund the police underwater. That's when they ask people, and I don't know why this is. I think it's because of propaganda. But if they ask people, do you support defund the police movement? That poll is underwater. But if you ask people, do you want to take resources from police officers and reallocate it to mental health services, education, and other social services to decrease crime? That number skyrockets to literally 2 out of 3 independents, 75% Democrats, the majority of black voters. The only number that is underwater with is with white voters. And yes, that poll is from 2021. I do acknowledge that. But no one else has ever asked that question the same ever since. They keep asking
not
like,
to, Nick.
They keep, and I've
They
seen
know
a lot of
not
polls,
to.
and if you Google defund the police, you see a lot of bullshit polls. I scroll through them. They keep asking stuff like, do you want to see the amount of police increase or decrease in your area? And the people like, increase, decrease. They're like 50-50 when they ask those questions. And then they report on the poll, they're like, well, half the voters say they want the police to be increased. It's like you ask where people think the resources should go. Like if you ask the ordinary person, and if they know that we spend 3 times more on the NYPD than the DPRK does on their military budget, do you think the average person will be okay with that? There's one poll, and this also shows the confusion of the American people. In the LAPD poll, there's a big poll they did about the LAPD where they say the average person don't want to decrease the amount of police officers, but they do want to decrease the amount that is funding. So what that mean? I guess they want the police to pay for the lawsuits. They want police to pay for, like there's a lot of things that can mean, but the mainstream media do a lot of these manipulative.
Maybe not purchase all these weapons. Maybe not. I mean, it's a lot of things they can do to cut back. It's not just in manpower that they can cut back. All of the tactical equipment, because you don't need to have tactical equipment if you provide opportunity. It's very simple. Rich neighborhoods don't have crime. Poor neighborhoods do. It's like this is literally anybody can figure this out. Like it's the reason poor neighborhoods have crime and rich neighborhoods don't. Like it's so simple. But let's get to the first topic here, Nick. And the first topic is Stacey Abrams. And what I want to do, I want to be nice and kind of give her at least a little, at least her version. So I want to play 3 celebrities videos just talking about her. They're all under a minute.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I see LeBron.
She has this issue with black men. So she's had people like Steve Harvey. I don't have this video, but I had it before I played in a different stream. She had people like Steve Harvey come out several weeks ago and do the same thing.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
The election commentary on Georgia has been some of the dumbest I have ever seen in my entire life. CJ, you have Democratic operatives. You have people on the news. Oh my God, why is this race so close? We cannot figure out, for the love of God, why is Herschel Walker in a competitive race with Raphael Warnock? Why is Stacey Abrams getting destroyed in the governor's race? And I'm like, you guys are the dumbest. Remember last election when you guys said that if you vote Democrat, you're going to get $2,000 checks? And then you guys did not follow through on that? Why are you guys pretending that this is a giant mystery? Why voters in Georgia don't trust you? And if you watch any corporate news coverage on the Georgia election, they will never bring that up. As if that wasn't a giant breach of trust in Georgian voters. But go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, this is like a 30-second video. So let's just watch what LeBron says. Clearly, they did this on the fly. He's literally on the road, and that's a hotel. That's a hotel room he's in. And he has his wave cap on. So clearly it wasn't like they prepared for this. He just said, hey, man, can you go do this? Please, man, please.
I got the fucking cops at my door, bro. I got the cops at my door. I'll be right back. God damn it.
All right. This is crazy. All right. So let's see what happens with Nick. But let's play. Hopefully nothing happened. But let's play. He's still here in the background, but he'll let us know what happens in a second. But this is LeBron. Oh, I forgot I moved the tab. This is LeBron speaking. Let's listen.
Georgia, what up? LeBron James here. I just want to say, obviously, tomorrow is Election Day. Make sure you go vote for Stacey Abrams for governor. You guys can go to StaceyAbrams.com to find your polling location. God bless.
Yeah, I think that's what exactly happened. LeBron got a call
Georgia,
from
what
Obama.
up? LeBron James here. I just want to say, obviously, tomorrow is Election Day. Make sure you go vote for Stacey.
You want to tell us what happened?
So my brother car getting towed right now. God damn. So he was like, why are you looking nervous? I was like, why shouldn't I be nervous? Are you serious? I wish I had the mic. He was like, why are you looking nervous? Like, why the fuck should I be nervous? I look at and he was like, oh well, your car's getting towed. Like, that's not my car. That's my brother. So got him out here. Thank God. I was like, bro, I don't know what that could be.
Your brother's not there though. He's not there to get it.
Why are you looking nervous? Why should I be nervous, sir? Why should I be nervous? You know who the fuck you are. And I gave him that look.
Right.
You know who you are. Why shouldn't I be nervous right now? And why would you ask me that? He was like, why are you looking nervous? I am obviously nervous because you're a fascist cop, sir. God,
I told a cop one time that this was years ago. I told a cop that one time. Like, why, they were like, why are you doing this? And I was like, because you're a cop. Have you not seen y'all killing people?
When I talk to cops, I'm visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, are you crazy?
Yeah, I always give him that look. I give him that look like, yo, why are you here? I was obviously uncomfortable because I project that to like, yo, I don't trust you guys. And I want you to know that I don't trust you. And he could tell. He was like, why you know? And why should I be nervous? And he told me the situation. He asked me if I was him like twice. I'm like, no, I'm not him.
No, you know what he's telling his friends? Because he came here and I'm just trying to tell you, let me take you into his world. He was probably telling to his partner, yeah, I just went in there. I don't know why he was nervous. I was coming in there and I was trying to help him out and he just seemed nervous. I guess it's that damn defund the police movement. That's what happened. I want
him to know that I don't trust him. Because I gave him that look when I responded to him. Why shouldn't I be nervous? And I just look stared at him like, bro, are you serious? Are you gonna make the argument that I shouldn't be nervous right now? Nigga, we know who you guys are now. Don't pretend. Don't fucking pretend that we don't know what this shit is. Like if that motherfucker peeped in here, which I wouldn't have let him. I would not let him. I could have got in trouble. I'm just saying that. But anyway, let's move on.
Let's continue. All right. So it's very short. Clearly, LeBron maybe didn't even know who Stacey Abrams was because he kind of pronounces very properly. Let's listen. Anyway, I'll let you determine for yourself.
Georgia, what up? LeBron James here. I just want to say, obviously, tomorrow is Election Day. Make sure you go vote for Stacey Abrams for governor. You guys can go to StaceyAbrams.com to find your polling location. God bless.
And then somebody said Obama must have put in a call. What do you think?
Georgia, what up?
Let me stop that.
LeBron James here.
What do you think? Do you think that's possible? You think that's why LeBron, like on the last minute, hey, LeBron, I need you to come in for me, bro, off the bench. Come on. Do you think he did that?
Yeah, it was revealed that they're this big DNC celebrity like group that they get together on Twitter. Like John Legend is part of them. I had my legendary.
Oh my God!
Beef with John Legend a while ago. John Legend, and fuck, what's that super annoying girl name? Allison.
Deborah Messing.
Deborah Messing is one of them. What's the other one I'm forgetting about? The other
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. But there's a lot of them, and LeBron is definitely part of that complex where he get these messages from the DNC. He give endorsements to people they have no business doing that for. That's how you know they follow directions. Like no one would support these people. They actually were like thinking about it, and they had illicit issues. They see the receipts. No, they get the message. They're like, hey yo, man, you get this Nike deal, bro. And Nike is a DNC donor, man. You better follow orders. That's why I don't give these people any benefit now. So That's 100% what happened. Oh, are you telling me that this cringe shit is not win over black voters? Are you telling me that black men in their 40s are not saying these TikTok dances and they're not inspired? I'm a grown ass man, motherfucker. You think this is the shit that's getting me off the couch?
They probably thought black men
job for votes before. You think this is the first time we've seen this? Then we've seen people chucking job for votes before. This is gonna work on the Gen Z
thing. I was thinking the same thing. I have it written down.
Sorry, CJ, go ahead.
This is shucking and jiving. No, I want you to rant. Like this is. I have the same thing written down in my notes. Shucking and driving. Shucking and driving. That's what this is. Yeah. Shucking and driving for the establishment. Like we gonna be all right. Literally, anyway, they gonna be all right.
Like, this may trick some like Gen Z Black lives, but man, I've been around the block. I've seen. They're not the first. You think you're the first politician that chucked and jive for votes? There's gonna be people our age like, I think we've seen this before. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
This is why they're losing black men in some cases to the Republican Party in Georgia. Because black men down there, they're not taking it. They like.
I think you guys. Beto had the same video. Beto had a video just like that too.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Oh,
I don't
man,
I don't get it.
Hey kids, look at me. I am hip. I am on the tick of talks. Like who falls for this? And I swear, I said black Gen Z shit libs, but that number is very low. Like, so who are they even aiming this for? And whenever people quote numbers about the black community being conservative, there's always truth and then half truth to that. That is true, but what people do not bring up is a generational gap between in the black community. It didn't even go down to like basic electoral politics. I used to bring this up all the time as a Bernie surrogate. Like Bernie didn't struggle with the black vote; he struggled with the black senior vote. He dominated with the young black vote. And at the same, I covered a poll that showed that when it comes to socialism, black Americans are leading the charge, and so with socialism, and that is dominated by black men our age, black women our age, the Savvy Savs, the Nicks, the JBs. We're the we are the majority in our age group. But then as you get older, you get people the black boomers who I don't hold my tongue on them people. I heard the feeling. I'm sorry, they lost their revolutionary roots. They forgot that Fred Hampton was anti-capitalist, that MLK was a socialist, that Malcolm X was a socialist. Literally, the Black Panthers was a Marxist-Leninist organization.
Right.
A
lot of black people don't know that.
W.B. Du Bois wrote a book called Socialism in the American Negro. It's a great book. W.B. Du Bois is not even that far left, but even he talked about socialism and the impacts it had on the black tradition, the amount of black socialists that we had, and we went from that, and now we got a ton of black capitalism motherfuckers with Nike deals telling people to vote for fucking plantation owners. Like, this is bullshit, and they've been brainwashed, and this is through the CI infiltrated hip hop. This is because CI infiltrated Hollywood to get people to focus on materialism. And it worked. And now we got less wealth than we did in the 60s. So it worked for white supremacy. But what's up, JB? What's up, man?
Yeah, let's introduce JB and then we'll get to the video. Just saying what's up, JB, then we'll get back to the video. What's up, JB?
Good to see you both, my well-rested looking bearded brothers. Fly as always. I see I just got finished talking about the bullshittery that's happening on TYT on my channel. And so, by the way, I got something to show y'all. Y'all gonna be proud.
Oh, baby, I love your tweet. I love your tweet, by the way. So I couldn't see it. I saw the screenshot, and I just saw your reply. I saw retweeted because Karen Kasparian has me blocked. So for some reason, because JB the nice one of RBN, JB is like one of the few people that's not blocked by the boutique left. So Anna, because TYT took a ton of backlash for having a fucking pedophile on their show. So now they're like, well, we're gonna have now they try to pretend they're me. Because I've been saying it for last. I'm gonna have a conversation with people I disagree with. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. And I took the heat. When I was on Jimmy Dore's show last year.
From them. Took the heat from them. Now they're acting like, yeah.
There were people from the Bernie movement that still kind of like me, even though they were kind of upset that I criticized Bernie and AOC. I would criticize Bernie and AOC Then I went on Jimmy's Door show, and that was like the red line. It was like, Nick, how dare you betray us like this? I'm like, Nick, I was never on your side in this pretend war that you guys had with Jimmy Dore. But for Jimmy Dore, my conversation with Jackson Hinkle, I just had Glenn Greenwald on. I saw a bunch of shit lists note down about that. So this has been my ideology, and I get Jenkins and TYTC where the wind blowing was in, they always behind. We was there first. Tell people that I'm gonna have conversations with people I disagree with, people I find interesting. Like if you're interesting, I'm down to have a conversation with you. Like Pasta, a friend of mine from the Combo Couch, he considers himself a capitalist. He say he don't consider himself a socialist, but we can have great conversations, even though we disagree on central planning, which is a big thing. But that's what you should be able to do if you're a movement builder, especially if you're in media. But sorry, JB, I'm gonna get back in here. I know I kind of interrupt. But JB, while I was saying what JB was like, he responded to Anna, and I want you to talk about it as well. That's why I brought it up before I started rambling. Anna was like, I talk to anybody. I don't care if they're on the right. And then JB was like, hey, what about RBN, bro? What about RBN though? And then you listen to a few other people, and your tweet got a few hundred likes. So like a lot of people saw it, a lot of people like it, and a lot of people was like, yo, yeah, Anna, why are you not talking to these black radicals? She would talk to a pedophile. They'll have all these
that to me shows how unserious.
JB, you want to comment on that?
Go ahead,
you want to
JB.
comment on that? I can't really pull this on block, but I'm
yeah, sure. So the thing is that here's my thing. You can go and say, oh, we will talk to anyone who we vehemently disagree with, right? You're willing to do that. But to the people who you mildly disagree with, you're condemning them, you're ostracizing them.
Yep.
That is hypocrisy at the highest order. Because you're going to sit there and go, oh man, Jimmy Dore's a secret right-winger, but let's talk to Matt Gaetz. Like, what?
I want to talk to poor black people.
Matt Gaetz? Are you kidding me right now?
Read the screenshot. She said, we're going to interview people we vehemently disagree with, except poor people.
Yeah.
Not the filthy peasants, right? So this is your tweet. It got like over 300 likes now. This is a screenshot. I can't see her quote. And you said, so you're going to talk to someone who you have mild disagreements with? That's RBN, Aaron Monte, Danny Highfall, Max Blumenthal. All these people, they refuse to debate. Margaret, can you imagine Auntie Margaret versus Anna?
Auntie Margaret.
God. Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
No. And the thing is, like that, and that's why I also put you, Sabby, and CJ as well. Because I know, look, you don't think I don't remember that smile you gave when you were on Rising? I remember that was that Cheshire Cat grin. That was that, you know? And so I'm like thinking about you, CJ, and Sabby, because I know for sure they definitely wouldn't never have Rome on. And so I'm just like, Okay, so you guys are willing to have people who are completely on the opposite end. What about people who have some mild disagreements with you? What about them? But yet, here's the thing. She will not respond. I'm going to tell you exactly why. And this is what I explained earlier on my show. There is barriers, right?
Yes.
Within the corporate algorithm, you can go as far to the right as you want to, right? And it's okay for them to associate with you or even platform you, right? Because that's what is acceptable. What is not acceptable is going anything further to the left than the center. Because if you go anything to the left of that, then guess what? Then you're going to lose your gravy train. And that's what it's about. Because if they were to have on a CJ, a Sabby, a Nick, or, you know, a Margaret Kimberly, or a Danny Highfong on, if they were to have someone like them on, that would make them, number one, that would show them as fools to their viewers, and then that would lose those Patreon supporters. They would lose that subscriptions, and guess what? That gravy train will go down. So all they have left is the $20 million from Jeffrey Katzenberg. So with that being said, then it's all about money. It's a lucrative game for them. This is why they would never have. This is why Hassan Piker wouldn't have you on after the General Strike.
He was terrified. And I'm explaining the basic concept on why I continue to keep going left after.
Yeah.
This is a good point, because this is why I kept going left after I was a Democratic Socialist. I told you guys this story all the time. You guys want to know why TYT would never debate us, but they would debate right wingers? Social democrats and democrat socialists are inherently unable to debate communists and Marxists because social democrats and democrat socialists was a movement built by capitalists who wanted a more suitable left opposition. So what Marxism do? Marxism is a legitimate critique of capitalism, and it shows you a pathway towards liberation, socialism, and communism, and advancing toward the working class. Social Democrats are missing a giant piece of the puzzle because that their ideology is not really a critique of capitalism; it's band-aiding capitalism. So when we have to grill them on their theory of change of going through a democratic capitalist party, they know their view is incoherent, especially compared to someone who have a Marxist-based analysis. That's why you see them always smear us and people to their left as tankies. It's easy to debate people to your right. I've done it multiple times, Robbie, Destiny. It's like really easy. Debate someone to your left. Debate someone that's outflanking you. People can't do it. You know, they always lash out instead of doing that. They always say, oh, it's horseshoe theory. I'm not going to talk to this person because he's so far left to the right. The reason why they got to say that because they got to convince themselves that this person that's to their left is not morally superior. Because the only reason they consider themselves to be social democrats and democratic socialists because they view being left on the Overton window as being morally superior. So when they find someone who's a Marxist, a communist, and someone who actually speaks for the proletariat, they don't know how to approach that because when they go against right wingers, it's literally a battle of morality.
But Nick,
JB, we want to add.
One more thing. But Nick, they basically just contradicted that whole horseshoe theory bullshit by having Matt Gaetz on. They contradicted themselves completely. They have no leg to stand on right now. None. They cannot say shit to us. They can't say anything to Jimmy Dore. They can't even say anything to Jason Hinkle. They can't say nothing to nobody because you're having on Matt Gaetz. They
you want to know why?
They can't say nothing.
You want to know why they did that? Because after them smearing Julian Assange, after them shilling for Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, after them bashing Forced to Vote and other activists, they know they lost the true left. They gaslight their audience. They pretend that they're the spokespeople for the left, but they know they are marketing. They are business people. Cenk Uygur is a capitalist, so he's going to market himself any way he sees fit. That's why he started out as a commentator, as a right winger. Then he shifted to a progressive when he saw the wind change. So now that TYT know they lost the left, the true left, who do not fuck with them, now they pivoting hard towards the liberal audience. That's why they run Trump derangement syndrome. Now I think they're trying to do this thing where they like this edgy, like Crossfire style TV show where they have like people like Republicans on, and like we're gonna have a deeply unserious conversation where we're gonna have a red-blue competition with this Republican guy. And I think that's gonna be their new niche because they've been struggling for viewers, and I think it's gonna work because it's been publicized so much. A lot of people are gonna hate watch the stream. They're gonna help their numbers out. So it's a good business move, but I want you guys to know they're not doing it because they are legitimate actors. Yeah. But we can get to the segment. Actually, JB, go ahead, and then we get to the segment.
Well, I have a question after the segment, so I don't want to take up too much time because I know CJ, we need to move on. So,
so let's where are we at here? So we were on the celebrity part. So JB, if you weren't because you had your stream, you weren't able to watch. So we're talking about Stacey Abrams and Stacey Abrams' problems. but first we did want to kind of just talk about, just give her start out good. And we're talking about the celebrities that are endorsing her. And we're on Selena Gomez, another ones. We started out with LeBron James. So let's Selena Gomez, another short video under 30 seconds, but let's listen. Ooh.
My friend Stacey Abrams is in an extremely close race to become governor. I've worked with Stacey personally, and her commitment to improving mental health access in Georgia is extremely important to me, as the state currently ranks 48th in the nation. Please grab some friends and vote early. Go to StaceyAbrams.com to learn more, and again, please vote.
Celebrity culture gets people out. You notice how they're doing everything but policy. everything but policy, Republican bad, abortion, celebrity, nothing but policy, when literally all they have to do is policy. Oh, and I forgot, JB, there was a Kerry Washington video also of them just dancing, just shucking and jiving. That's all. Now this this video right here, now we're starting to get into a little bit more of the analysis of what's some of her problems. So she went on Joyanne Reid, of course, show the readout.
Joyanne Reid is one of the hardest people to watch. When I do my oppo, when I do my oppo for you guys, looking at corporate media segments, one of the hardest people to watch.
I can watch Joe. I can watch Morning Joe because it's so out there. It's almost like I'm watching SNL. I almost don't even take it seriously. It's like almost not serious to me.
Live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, Morning Joe is my go-to for like Oppo, and that's why I always show you guys Morning Joe clips, because they're literally like the voice of the establishment. Like,
yes,
that's like literally the most probably establishment.
That's who watches them. The people. Marco Rubio said this. He like when I'm in the workout gym in DC, every Morning Joe is on, and that's what they all watch. It's kind of the insiders show.
Yeah, we did breakdowns before, and whenever I watch, I'm telling you guys, it is the most propagandized. That is the number one propaganda show. Like that, and probably the 5 on the 5s. If I had to rank them, like it'd be the 5 from the Fox, Morning Joe, because every line is like well scripted. And Joe Scarborough, I gotta give it to him. He's probably the most talented propagandist, because he does slick propaganda that many people that watch, I know they don't see it, but everything he says, he's 100% after, 100% repeating propaganda that's fed to him. I'm like, damn, dude, whatever he says, I'm taking the like opposite stance. Well, anyway, go ahead, CJ.
Well, that might also be because, that might be one of the reasons that attracted Mika Brzezinski to him, because, he probably reminds her of her father, Zygmunt Brzezinski, who was also in some of the administrations that was pushing U.S. foreign policy, as far as our imperialism is concerned. So she probably felt that, that energy from him that she felt from her father. So she was like, hey,
look at Mika and her lineage. And when I heard that her father was elite, did not surprise me at all. And people think that they got these jobs on corporate media because of meritocracy.
No,
every one of these people in corporate media, they got that job because their dad knew someone that got them in an elite educated school. Then they started networking. None of these people are smart. That's why I got into this media, because I watch these people. I'm like, I'll run laps around these people.
You can do that easy.
They connected. I'm not. That's the only difference. But we can get back into it. Let JB have anything you want to add.
Yeah, it's just to back up on Nick's point. Like who's Andrea Mitchell's husband?
Greenspan.
Alan Greenspan, former federal chair of the Federal Reserve. Alan Greenspan. She's a Greenspan. So think about it. Like, everybody talks about, whoa, you got to get there through meritocracy. No, like Alan User said, meritocracy is a myth. It doesn't exist in this country.
Yeah, and I'll pass to you, CJ. But I was talking to my mom actually recently about it, because now a lot of people asking about RBN. Now it's getting a little bit bigger, and they're like, "Why you started a network, bro? It's crazy." I'm like, "Bro, watch TV. All these people are fucking idiots." I literally told my mom, I knew I could do this because they are so bad at it. Like, they're so bad at their analysis. It's so obvious what they're doing to me. I know I can at least convince some people that they're full of shit, which is the goal of RBN. But let's go ahead with
that. Is spot on. I mean, it's literally in some of our literature when we first started. Like, we're blacking out the propaganda, we're blacking out all the corporate brainwashing. So, but this is a short video. It's like a minute and a half of her on Joyanne Reid, kind of talking about the black male issue that is being reported that she has. So let me catch you up, because this is kind of the third part in the saga. So initially, there's polling, and it's literally, you can see where black women is polling in the 90s, black men is polling high, but it's in the 80s. There's an obvious gap. It's like a 7 to 12 point gap between the number for black men and black women. And that's what they're targeting. So in the beginning, like about a month ago, 2 months ago, it was this whole thing, black men, black men aren't coming out? Why, targeting black men? So she started targeting black men. But now she is saying that the whole thing that she was just targeting black men because she needed to have black men come out, that was all fake. That was just made up. Somebody that's like a psyop is what she's trying to say now. So let's listen.
If people have not returned their absentee ballots as of today, what is your campaign advising them to do? Should they just forget about it and take it to the polls tomorrow?
Absolutely. Go to the polls yourself. Polls open at 7 a.m. Make sure you go to the right precinct. Go to StaceyAbrams.com/vote. Your precinct matters because in years past, if you went to the wrong precinct in the right county, you could cast a provisional ballot. No longer. Brian Kemp eliminated that until 5 p.m. because Joe Biden won by 7,000 votes that were provisional ballots. Out of the 12,000 votes he got, 7,000 came from provisional ballots that would be disallowed under the new laws. Brian Kemp is an exceptional voter suppressor, as is Brad Raffensperger. And that's why we need everyone to show up. The overwhelming performance that we've seen from
one of the reasons why Stacey Abrams is doing way worse in this election than they did last election, and you will never hear this in the corporate media, is because she lost all credibility. Because, once again, just as Democrats are pretending that Republicans are extreme because they denied elections, Stacey Abrams did the same thing. And she also fear-mongered a little bit too much over Georgia voting bill law. And I talked to my friends in the global South. I talked to Fiorella. I talked to my friends in Brazil. And a lot of the global left community don't understand the meltdown that the Democratic Party have over like simple stuff like voter ID. Like there's countries that got better democracies than we do that got simple voter ID laws. Now, what Stacey Abrams did, she said, oh my God, they destroyed democracy in Georgia. And now it's going to be impossible to vote. And now she was discredited because after that legislation was passed, now more people is voting in Georgia. They are breaking voting records. And now this is people being like, yo, I thought you.
And they're still not voting for her. And they're still not voting for her.
I thought that Kemp, I thought the Republican Party destroyed democracy and they make it harder for people to vote. If he made it harder for people to vote, why are more people voting now? And this is something that Stacey never had an answer for. And these are things, and if you're a liberal, and I know this is a talking point that pisses liberals off, that's irrelevant. The Georgia voters see this, and they see these inconsistencies. And you can get mad at me for saying that all you want. I'm just telling you, these things are what ruins Stacey Abrams' credibility.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's play a video. Maybe if you want time, you can, but we can get back to the video.
Okay.
from voters is in response to 202, in an attempt to overcome 202. But what we know, the best way to stop them from having this kind of power is to give power back to the people by electing me as the next governor, by electing Democrats up and down the ballot, and by proving once and for all that Georgians will not be cowed by cowards who are trying to deny them access to the right to vote.
Never forget, Brian Kemp was Secretary of State. He built the state voter suppression system so that he could become governor, and he has got it locked in with this new law to make it as hard as possible to vote him out. That is how they do it. That's how they get power and never give it back. So be very aware if you're a voter in Georgia.
How long has Nancy Pelosi been a congressperson, Joyanne Reed? And I'll be real quick. I want to get the video going.
Go ahead. No, that's the end of the video. I got another one.
They say this stuff all the time. And what she's saying may be true regarding Brian Kemp, but this is just capitalists complaining that another capitalist played the game better than them. Look at Dianne Feinstein. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She said, oh, the Republicans, they got this crazy plan where they get in power and they stay in power. You mean like Jen Clyburn? You know these dinosaurs that have been in power for decades? So this is what we always say, CJ. Whenever they attack Republicans, I'm saying the attacks may have truth in it. But everything they say about Republicans apply to you guys, and I see through it. Anyone who got critical thinking skills should be able to see through this shit.
Go ahead, JB.
Yeah, so and also in response to what Nick was saying earlier about Stacey Abrams' credibility, remember who she endorsed in 2020.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
She endorsed Michael Bloomberg, right? I just pulled up an article from Politico about Michael Bloomberg about a recording that he said about stop and frisk. Michael Bloomberg said, and I quote, 95% of your murderers and murder victims fit one MO. You can just take the description, Xerox it, and pass that out to all the cops. They're male minorities, 16 to 25. That is true in New York. That is true in virtually every city. And that's where the real crime is. You got to get the guns out of the hands of the people that are getting killed. So basically, he said, is black people and brown people, particularly black and brown men. You don't think that we don't remember all that? Pepperidge Farm remembers. So that's who Stacey Abrams decided to run with in 2020. Black men, those of us black men, we do not have a short memory. And so guess what? And also, and like I said earlier, people will be surprised how conservative a lot of black people are, especially along the Bible Belt.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of conservatism in the black community. The only reason why there aren't more black people voting Republican is because there's a stigma against voting Republican in the black community. But a lot of them are letting it go. And a lot of black people are now going. A lot of them who listen to the Andrew Tates and the Kevin Samuels, they're also voting Republican now because they think that capitalism and appealing to basically white supremacy is actually going to afford them something better. And so guess what? They're doing it. And they're bucking the system because of the Democratic Party. Because they know the Democratic Party hasn't done shit for them either. So guess what? They're turning to a devil that they don't know instead.
I want to show you this, CJ, because I know you was asking for this earlier. We all saw Stacey Abrams sell out to Michael Bloomberg, and you're gonna cover how Stacey Abrams pretty much grifted and defrauded her donors, the people who donate to her campaign. This is things that we have seen, and they wonder why they're struggling with the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
Stacey Abrams called defund the police movement a false choice idea. So we have all these black mayors, the black candidates. They are unapologetically running pro-police state because they were trying to win white suburbia over. And then while they trying to win white suburbia over, they're like, "Oh my God, why are black men upset with us?" Stacey Abrams is trash, and I've been warning people about her for a long time. And because I remember people were trying to say she was going to be the next vice president, and then she got destroyed as soon as people look into her. Like, she has, look at this. This is how much they were trying to build up Stacey Abrams. Remember when Stacey Abrams was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize?
Oh, Lord.
They tried their best to make this happen, and it was so obvious. And this guy right here is a big Democrat, propped up CIA operative, straight up. If anyone aware of this dude, but she was propped up by the establishment, ran to support the police state of Wall Street, bashed all left ideas that, once again, black people are mostly socialists, anti-capitalists, as shown by polls. But Stacey was like, "No, we can't have Medicare for all. We can't have all the progressive ideas." But then, like, why is she underwater with black people? Shut the fuck up. You guys see this condescension? But anyway, let's continue, CJ.
And I want to say one thing before I press the video, play on the video, and that is, I do agree black people are conservative, but I think they're conservative and not, because they're only conservative in certain areas.
Yeah, that's right. True.
Like you said, because they are socialists. Like, for example, like Martin Luther King is a perfect example. He's a socialist, but he's also a Christian preacher. So there's a lot of that. You get what I'm saying? So it's only in particular areas. Exactly. It's just like it's like particular areas they're conservative, but then they're not economically. They're not conservative. Like, they're for social programs. How it is in, there will be for defund the police. If you
that's how it is in Brazil with Afro-Brazilians. A lot of them are evangelicals, and a lot of them are extremely socially conservative. But a lot of them are economically left. Especially in South Carolina, there are a lot of people who I talked to in South Carolina. I told this story before where this guy was like, it took him a long time to get him on my side, and he was like, "Well, by the way, I would never vote for Pete Buttigieg because he's a rhymes with ag." So it's like there are a lot of people in the South, they don't fuck with that socially left agenda. But if you talk about healthcare, all the black people I talked to in South Carolina was all for universal healthcare.
Yeah. I should clarify as well. What I meant was socially conservative.
Yeah, we know.
And they use that, as a cudgel to, push them more towards the right so that they end up voting against their own interests economically. Yes. So yeah, thank
you have a lot of experience with that. Both of us have a lot of experience with that.
Yeah,
and JB, I wasn't just because before you got on, Nick said the same thing, and I just forgot to say the same. He said the same thing that about the conservative comment.
yeah.
But there is a little nuance there.
Thank
So
you.
let
Thank you for
me
We're
that.
not a monolith, guys. That's what we wanted to
Right.
expose.
Yeah.
And
So-
just to give you guys an example, I'll pass it right to you, CJ.
go ahead.
I told you guys this before. Obviously, I'm 30 years old. I evolved a lot, and I remember my first radical position. Just to show you guys how socially conservative Black people are, I live in Missouri, live in the Midwest, the Bible Belt. My first radical position when I was like 13, I was like, you know what? I think gay people should get married. You know, I said it. Yeah, I said it. And I remember I was like, yeah, I'm really. You guys can't tell me anything about this. Like that was my first position. I thought I was so radical because of that. And luckily, my family not really that socially conservative, so it was never like I never been around bigotry. But
Never had like
there
people push back against
definitely
that.
use the
Yeah.
F word that end with ag, and they use it all the time growing up, and they just didn't see anything wrong with it. Like people mock people's masculinity, they'll call people like sissies, they'll accuse people of being gay. But the odd thing enough, and they're just anecdotal. There was like 3 very prominent gay people in high school that a lot of people I was around didn't have any issues with. But if you like wasn't openly gay, people was like it was like a lot of homophobia. But I'm glad that there were way less of that. And that just shows like that was just in the 2000s. I remember how a lot of stuff that like even I'm going back even further, but Eddie Murphy Raw, like,
Man.
and you guys realize if you look at 90s, I love 90s Black comedy sitcoms like the
Ice
Fresh
Cream.
Prince of Bel-Air. I grew up on those shows. Like literally, all their jokes is all just like homophobic jokes. Like if you look back at, especially Martin, if you look at Martin, like so many of Martin jokes is pretty much like, oh shit, that's gay.
Transphobic, I remember from Martin.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of transphobic jokes, or not. I remember. I now that I recognize them so vividly now when I watch the show. That's what stands out to me. But let's listen to this ad from Stacey Abrams, and I know we're gonna be stopping it because I have a lot to say because she compares. But anyway, I'm not gonna tip it off, but because I don't know if you've seen it, and if you haven't, this is gonna have you. It's only 50 seconds, but I guarantee it'll be stopped several times.
Okay.
My great-great-great-grandparents were slaves in the United States. My great-great-grandparents were sharecroppers. My great-grandparents were domestic workers. My grandparents were cooks who worked at a college their children were legally not allowed to attend because of their race. My parents both worked full-time, and still we barely made ends meet. We were what they called working poor. But I became the first Black woman in a
Let me make sure we understand who this ad is targeted to, because you might be thinking, wow, they're trying to get Black. This is targeted to white people.
Yeah.
This is to make white look at the progression that our country, my country that I believe in, has come.
Exactly.
Look how she's telling the story of my great-great-grandmother, and now I'm running for president. You see, she's trying to show that look it. As if, and I always have to say this when this topic is brought up, as if we have to wait on when white people are ready for us to have our fucking freedom. Like when you ready for that shit. So you telling the story of over 500 years of oppression, but that's what this is. This is targeted to white people, maybe white suburbia, just to say that, look, I my family has progressed, and I understand that's what she's trying to do, in my opinion. Let's play.
Yeah.
I mean, unless if you were going to say something about it.
Well,
I'm not looking at the screen, so I can't tell. I'm not looking at the screen.
Well, I was just going to harp on what you said. They treat it as if our freedom needs to be popular in order for it to be the right thing to do, which is complete and utter bullshit. It's the right thing to do. It should be the right thing to do, even if it's unpopular. We literally went had a war over it. So therefore, even if it's not the right thing to do, even if it's not popular, if it's the right thing to do, do it anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's what the ruling class likes to use. They always like to use the popularity thing. They use it against defund the police also. It's not popular. Look, like civil rights was
In
popular.
American history to be a nominee for governor.
Sorry. Wow.
Real progress does happen. It's slow. It's sometimes plodding. But my responsibility is to make the next generation stronger and make the next story an even better story than my own.
You see, she's giving white people a pass. Progress is slow, or giving white America a pass. Progress is slow. That's who that is targeted to. And now I think we can get into the meat and potatoes of the critique of her, because she's saying that that's her thing about her grandparents were slaves, right? Now, what would your grandparents who were slaves have to say about this? Abrams to host Bloomberg after candidate makes $5 million donation to Abrams organization. And we all know who Michael Bloomberg is. We all know about the stop and frisk that JB mentioned earlier. We all know about what happened here. We all know about the women that he's paid off. We all know about the non-disclosure agreements. And then she went out to stump for him. So there's that headline. And then I'm swinging it around to the video. Don't worry, those that are waiting. I saw a comment earlier. I'm getting to the Brianna video, but I'm trying to do this in order. And also, so now in swinging it around to the video content that we have next, look at this headline. Stacey Abrams struggles with black male voters in Georgia while wielding national clout. And we can read a little bit just to talk up so we know what the numbers are like, which are down here. So together, these two groups, black men who typically don't vote and those who have cross-party lines, could determine the outcome in November. The key is figuring out the reason for the choices and persuading them to change their mind, because they're just saying black men are have changed their mind. But here's where we get into the numbers, JB. Abrams acknowledges what's at stake. In an interview, Abrams says she has long viewed black men as a crucial segment of voters. Quote, I actually focus on black male voters in 2018, end quote. Abrams says, quote, I have had very intentional conversations with black male voters. My conversations are grounded in the fact that I respect black men. I respect their voting power. Their voting power is strong. And as candidates, we have to be respectful of that and intentional about that, end quote. In September, poll conducted by the University of Georgia for Atlanta Journal-Constitution, 74% of black men say they plan to vote for Abrams compared to 82% of women. So I can pause there. And this is the gap that she says illustrates her win. She says now to be fair, both of these numbers have both gone up. Like the female number is now in the 90s and the male number is in the 80s, but it's still like 8 to 10 points behind the women. And she's saying that 8 to 10 point translates into like 100,000 people, which would give her the win. And that's why there's such a target. But as like Nick said earlier, and I can take this article down to bring up the Brianna video, but as Nick said earlier, you can't say fund the police. And there was this long tweet, and I've been trying to find it. I can't find it. There's this long tweet. It's like 4 threads that she has in there where she's explaining all the things she wants to do to help the police. She wants to help their pensions. She wants to, have something given to all the local police stations so they can hire more people. And now she's wondering why she's doing bad with black men. There's economics, and then you're saying, I'm going to fund the police, the group that's going to come after you and either put you in jail or murder you. And she's wondering why she can't catch up with black men. But let's bring up a video. Go ahead. As I bring up the video, go ahead, JB.
Yeah, I just find it funny because, I mean, if you look at it, a huge chunk of black men can't vote. Why? Because we were all put in prison. a lot of us were put in prison for nonviolent crimes due to drug offenses. And so now we don't have the ability to do that. And now you're talking about funding the same goons that have actually thrown us in prison, that have beat our
Right.
bodies till and bludgeon us. Some of them have murdered us in the streets. And you're talking about funding them more instead of supporting the same people who look like your dad and brothers. Instead, are you kidding me right now? And so, yeah, of course, a lot of black men aren't going to vote for Stacey Abrams because, look, she's basically throwing them under the bus while basically saying nice things about, oh, we need you black men, yet you're willing to throw us under the bus. Like, hell no, we know where our bread is buttered. Or should I say, we know where our cornbread is buttered. So I'm telling you right now, you're not going to sit here and tell us, oh, well, y'all need to vote for me, when you're literally going to be paying the people who want to shoot us dead in the street. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. What the hell do you think you want? What you take us for?
I'm gonna share this as well. I know you guys probably covered this, but I think this is very relevant to the segment. Where Stacey was talking about how much she targeted black voters, and now you're gonna see a lot of this. And I just want to interject this because this is our official debate coverage. Now, this is gonna be the talking point that come from the Democratic Party. I remember liberals being upset with me because I didn't vote for Joe Biden in 2020. Meanwhile, they lost the white women vote. You guys should thank the gods every day that you guys get 70%. Thank the gods. But you guys want to come out and bitch because you can't get 100%? You guys think you're our slave masters? You guys get 70%. Way more than you already deserve. But you guys want more. Get 50% of white women before you complain about us. How about that? So now here's Stacey Abrams insulting our intelligence. I know you guys probably covered it before, but I think this is important.
No, we haven't seen this one. So yeah.
Okay. I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often.
I think the video's kind of low, isn't it? Oh, I'll play it. I'll play it. If you guys can't hear, I'll let you know. I thought the video was low, but
I can hear that one, but go ahead.
Because of a deep well of enthusiasm.
No, that's good. That's good.
We know that black voters are often discounted, and unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve.
Who is she talking about? Because it sounds like she's talking about RBN. Oh,
right.
Black men are being upset because they want what they're not getting. That is what she's saying. Let's rewind it.
Can you play that again? Yeah, so make sure
I'll play from it's very short, so I'll play from the beginning.
And this is the video earlier when I thought I was playing it. It was a readout. This is the one I was referring to.
Oh, good.
So good. I mixed it up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to cover it. I didn't know if y'all covered it already, but I'm glad that we're going through it.
And I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve.
What?
Why they want what they deserve. Misinformation about why they want. How can you be misinformed about why you want something?
And you wonder why you lose? You wonder why you losing? We just talked about the meritocracy debate. This sound like someone who's go ahead, JB. But this sound like someone who is a leader. What are you talking about?
What in the hell did she just say?
What?
Wait, hold up. Wait. Stacey, what did you? I need an interpreter of what she just said.
You want to play it again? Let's play it one more time. Play it one more time. I get a response, JB. I'll play it one more time, then you go in, JB.
And I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve. And my campaign has been the only one that has very intentionally, thoughtfully, and consistently reached out. That has been misconstrued as concern, when it indeed is just respect. I do.
Does that sound like respect, JB?
Wait. Hold up. Miss Abrams, come to the screen. Closer. We're broke. That's what is judging what we vote, how we vote. We're broke. That's what. Look. CJ, Nick, pull out your wallets. What is it saying to you? Hey, I'm broke. I need some more money. But these people aren't giving me the money that I deserve and need. So we need to vote a different way. Oh, okay. So let's vote in this direction to see what sticks. Because guess what? When we actually had a Republican president, we actually had a little bit more cash in the bank. Okay, because y'all failed. You failed because you're literally capitulating all the support to the other side. And so you're sitting here talking about, oh, well, they just don't know what they... it sounds like you're saying we don't know what we want. Yeah, we know what we want. The problem is you're not giving it to us. That's the problem. And I'm not just talking as a gay, as a black male, but also as a gay male. A lot of us are not getting what we need. What have you done as far as living wage? What have you done as far as homelessness? Guess what? A huge population of the homelessness is men. Particularly a lot of black men are homeless. What have you done for us then? As far as the population of those of us that are suicidal, guess what? What have you done for us? What have you done for us as far as our mental health care is concerned? What have you done as far as those of us who are, a lot of us black men that are sitting there locked up in prison, especially on nonviolent drug charges? What have you done for us? What have you done for us that we're being targeted by police day in and day out and getting shot in the back or being bludgeoned to death by police? What have you done for us then? No, you decided to go with the guy who actually did stop and frisk. So no, absolutely not. Because the thing is that people like you, Stacey Abrams, you don't even get us because you don't want to. Just like you don't even get or want to get black women because you are a traitor to them too. Because you are literally betraying black women. Yes, you are. Because the thing is that guess what? If you really wanted to do things for us, you would actually have reparations on your platform.
So
you would have defund the police on your platform, but you don't. And so guess what? Stacey Abrams, this is why you're losing a lot of us.
So apparently,
God.
my great friend, my brother, who was evicted this year, who stayed with me for 5 weeks. Thank God he got a new place. My other friend who I housed, who otherwise would have been homeless this year. Apparently, they didn't really go homeless. They just been fed misinformation. Right? We're not struggling. Well, our kids are not in poverty. We're not being evicted. Despite being 13% of the population, black people are 44% of the homeless population.
44%.
But apparently that's misinformation, according to Stacey Abrams. If I was to tell you that black Americans has less than 1/10 of the wealth as white Americans, but apparently that's misinformation. If I was to tell you that, and if I was to tell you that Barack Obama was president while our wealth tanked, apparently that's misinformation. Stacey, who the fuck you think you're talking to? I'll tell you, the age of intellectual weakness is over. We are smart. We are educating ourselves. We see through your shit. The black boomer's been brainwashed. Congratulations to all my black boomer brothers and sisters who liberate themselves and decolonize their mind. But for the most part, they are gone. But this new generation, we're not playing this shit no more, Stacey. We're not playing this shit no more. I'm glad you put this. I hope I put this up as well. CJ, I'll pass it to you. But we Sabby see through you, RBN. We see through you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me just read Sabby's tweet. Stacey Abrams is going to lose again, and it will be her own fault, but she's a millionaire now, so she'll be fine. And that is spot on. That went viral, 1,300 likes.
And this is Sabby's response to Sabby began Stacey Abrams' ass on Twitter. So once again, imagine Sabby debating Stacey Abrams on anything.
Yes.
So this is another tweet that's going to go viral because she just tweeted this and already got a lot of likes on it. And this is in response to the video we just played. Savvy says Stacey Abrams thinks black men don't understand misinformation about her race. She feels this is why she's losing the polls. Stacey should blame herself for wanting to give more money to cops. Stacey should blame her whack ass campaign and the Democrat Party. Once again, whatever number you guys get, you guys get 80%. You guys get 90% of the black vote. That is way more than you guys deserve. My goal is to get as many black people to leave the Democratic Party as possible because they ran because they're like, oh, the black community was ravaged by COVID under Donald Trump. Then they took office, took COVID relief money, and gave it to the cops. And y'all wonder why RBN is loudly calling for a Dem exit? Not passively. I don't care who you vote for. Loudly. Let's start moving. Let's start this movement now. Why the fuck are we waiting? Why are we listening to Stacey Abrams gaslight us to death? Zach Ross, Sam Cedar, they will tell our black asses to vote for her anyway. Like we boo with the food. No more.
I love that Nick says, thinking I'm boo-boo the fool.
This is Black in the Empire. Let's see if the Democratic strategy of telling black men how stupid we are works better in 2022. Spot on. And here's another one. Oops. Did I click it? Yeah, I think I clicked it. So here's another one. This one is, where's this one from again?
All that damn money. Imagine if Rome had a fraction of the money that Stacey Abrams had. What he would do for black people in Georgia. Stacey, you are a failure of a leader. Give RBN a fraction of what you guys have, and watch the mutual aid societies we will build. Watch the movement we will build. What have you done with the millions that you have raised? You got the support of LeBron James. What are you doing with it?
All right, so here is the next one. Yeah, here's the next one. Sorry about that. Here's the next one. This one. Okay, so here is the article, actually. It's a snippet from the New York Times, believe it or not. God. So they've jumped in on this topic too. And so it says black men for decades have been among the most reliable segment of the Democratic Party, of the Democratic voting bloc. But days before the midterm, Democrats are fighting to energize black male voters, and Republicans sense an opportunity to win their allegiance. Now, I'm going to click on it, and let me see if I can get this article. And if it's not, you know,
always blocked out New York Times.
If it's not blocked, you know what I mean. I was just so you get what I'm saying.
I keep saying they keep getting the black shit-lived, the black capitalists to write the goddamn stories about why black men need to vote Democrat. Like this, and I'm glad that we got
Clyde McGrady and Maya. Oh shit! It just
Maya King. Is that Maya King?
Yeah,
it just went off. Shit. So I can't read it. I don't know if one of you can read it. But anyway, you saw the headline before it went off. I'll take it off and show you the next one. Anyway, I got another one.
Pull it up. She's from the King Law Group. Yeah, just some black shit lip. There've been a lot of these stories coming out recently, and every time I see one, I'm like, who wrote it? Who's the Negro they got to say this? They all class loyal, man. They all class loyal.
All right, so now that we kind of prefaced it a long time, prefaced it a long time. Sorry about that. So now we can finally get to the video, and I can hear my cats. I don't know what's going on, but let's get to the video. Just dropped today. Stacey Abrams and Democrats blame misinformation for flailing poll numbers, discouraging black men to vote. So, like I said, I kind of said that earlier, but let's listen to the segment. Tell me when you want it to stop if you want to comment.
Governor Brian Kemp continues to hold a lead, earning 50% of voters' support over Democratic
Robbie
Abrams. 45%, according to a recent Insider Advantage Fox 5 Atlanta poll. During an appearance on MSNBC presidency this Sunday, Abrams blamed her
Hey,
failing
bro, get
poll
your ass
numbers
on.
on misinformation,
Bro, where you at, bro?
specifically targeting Black men. Let's watch.
I do not believe it's because of a deep well of enthusiasm for my opponent. We know that Black voters are often discounted. And unfortunately, this year, Black men have been a very targeted population for misinformation. Not misinformation about what they want, but about why they want what they deserve. And my campaign has been the only one that has very intentionally, thoughtfully, and consistently reached out. That has been misconstrued as concern, when indeed it's just respect.
Abrams' claims were backed by Biden advisor and former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Let's watch.
There is definitely a target.
She's terrible. If you think there's somebody worse than Stacey, she's it. This one.
Yeah,
Toward African American men, not just to give them misinformation, but to make them so discouraged that they won't show up to vote. And again, I've been a candidate before. I've been in this position before. Going into my race as mayor 5 years ago, I was 7 points down in the polls going into the week of the election, and I won by more than 800 votes because people showed up to vote.
Joining us now to weigh in, our host of Straight Shot, No Chaser podcast, Teslin Figaro, and host of A Fresh Perspective, Jeff Charles. Welcome.
I'm just letting y'all know now, if you haven't seen this, she's gonna spit straight fire. I'm just letting you know now. That's the reason I'm playing it. I'm playing it for Teslin. I think that's how you say her name. I'm playing it for her. So let's listen.
You both. All right, I'll start with you, Jeff. What do you think they're talking about when they specifically cite the idea that Black men are susceptible to misinformation that discourages them from coming to the polls?
Well, see, but that's the entire problem, though. None of these people actually give examples of the misinformation that is supposedly discouraging Black men, that is supposedly fooling us into thinking that maybe the Democratic Party isn't perfect. So to me, like that's the issue. I mean, it's really what they don't understand is that talking points like that are part of the reason why more Black men are becoming disillusioned with the left and with the Democratic Party, and they're becoming more open to seeking out other options, or they'll just say a pox on both your houses and stay home. But really, this is just making excuses for why they are losing with minority voters.
Yeah, Teslin, it feels like misinformation as a term is becoming this sort of catch-all that doesn't really mean anything and is used very, very poorly by people who want to. I don't even know what he's trying to say here. Like, it's not hypnotism. It's not mind control.
Come on, don't be so bad, Democrats, that you guys make me agree with Robbie on anything. God damn it! I know y'all not about to make that happen.
And I should say the black guy that who just spoke, he is a Black Republican. So that's just so you understand where he's coming from. So, but here we go.
Control. What does she think is happening to Black voters to sap their enthusiasm for her candidacy? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm here to help you get it. Number one, over 40 million people have already voted. Georgia has had record turnout. They would have you believe that no Black men at all have voted, and that's just simply not true. So rather than saying, I blame you, how about they say, I will do better? Blaming Black voters or blaming Black men is no different than blaming the person that got cheated on in the relationship. Perhaps.
Hey.
Hey. I told you. I just have to pause it there. I'll keep playing.
We gotta have her on.
Cooked more, I wouldn't have cheated. At the end of the day, it is about who is trying to engage these voters, and if they failed. And I want to give you this example. Just bear with me quickly. David Axelrod, a white man, a top Democrat, Obama's go-to person, said the other day very clearly that Democrats have failed in their economic message. Nobody is saying that he's spreading misinformation. He said that they are not reaching out the way that they should. Hillary Rosen also said the same thing, which is a top Democrat strategist. No one is telling them, oh, well, you know, you're just spreading misinformation or you don't know what you're doing. And I have to say this to progressives as well. They also do this racist trope, and they call it misinformed voters, low education, low information voters when they don't get their way. It is basically a
oh, hold on. She got so much stamina in one breath. She got so much stamina in one breath. She can just ramble off one thing after another. She said a lot there, but let's continue.
racist trope that says that Black men are lazy, that they're not involved, and it is flat out a lie. And let's talk about targeting voters. Stacey Abrams said they're being targeted for misinformation. Well, guess who's being targeted for actual engagement? The Hispanic community by the GOP has strategically been targeted with over 30 plus diversity centers, with over 20 plus strategically in Latino communities, brick and mortar, that says, hey, come on in. We want to tell you about the Republican Party. And so the response to that from Democrats was, hey, well, we're doing advertisement. So rather than blaming Black men, why don't you ask the Democrat Party, why is it that they have not engaged Black men or Black women, because we do vote together, by the way, and talk about an economic policy that we would adhere to? And so it's a lie. It is a racist trope. It is something that is designed to blame and beat Black men with a public scalding when they don't get their damn way.
A public scalding. This is a public, like, a public lashing is what this is. And you saw that in Black in the Empire's tweet that I put up earlier. Let's continue.
And it has to stop. And I also blame these Black pundits who are running with this as well. Misinformation is very strategic. They're not confused. You know,
he talked to you, Benjamin Dixon, Tim Black. Go ahead. We already know what you're talking about.
Thing.
Nina on TYT, like, yeah, vote Democrat. Fuck that Black agenda. We don't need that shit. We're gonna be all right. We don't need that shit. Anyway,
you know, Black men, I just went to a reparations rally on Saturday. Thousands of people showed up, more so Black men. And they showed up with less than a 2-week notice, with no rapper as a headline, with no political party that pushed it, with no political official that pushed it, with less than 2 weeks, Bree. I've seen political elected officials that can't get 50 people in the room at best. So Black men are engaged, but they may not be engaged, and they may not be feeling you. The first thing,
they may not be feeling you. That was almost the title. They may not, they're engaged if they're showing up at reparations, because I would actually show up at a reparations rally, but I wouldn't show up for no Democrat. So that's a spot on critique. Go ahead, JB, if you want to chime in, or Nick.
So I'm just saying my amens for you.
Yeah, you doing your ad-libbing. Go ahead.
So I see some comments saying this is a Bree friend. She was on Bad Faith before. So just like when Bree brought me on to talk about Venezuela, and she kind of set Robbie up. Bree knew this topic, and she was like, I know exactly what I'm about to bring for this one. this is why I'm glad that Bree didn't leave the hill. This is why you argue that she shouldn't have.
Yes, I argue that she shouldn't leave the hill.
Bree's bringing on these fire breathers, bro. She brought on Sabby not too long ago. Now she brought on her, and now Robbie's sitting there like, holy shit, is this like now? Like the Republicans that watch this show, they got to be forced to acknowledge what the real Black left looks like because of this exposure. So what the right, they always do, they always say they want to pretend that the left, and they are true in some instances where they want to paint the left as this weak, feeble, they all the blue-haired, privileged, soy boys or whatever. No, this is the left. Black people, Latinos, Palestinians, and they are battling the shit left neoliberals, the Ilhan Omar Black left, not her. Right, there's a difference between Nina Turner and this woman that we just listened to.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, I let JB.
All right, all right.
Thing is actually dating somebody, then engaging, and then asking them to get married. Black men are engaged; they just ain't feeling you. So what do you have to do? Come back to the table and say, "How can I bring you on?"
I was just about to say that.
Black men who vote.
She's like, "This is why I brought her. This is why I brought her here."
Breeze over there.
You can see her holding it in. You can see her holding that shit in. She's like, the director was like, go back to camera 4, like the show called 4 People. So she had to hold it in because when the camera wasn't on her, you can. I bet you she was like,
she's like,
what's good, Ron? What's good, homie?
What's going on, y'all? I just got back in, man. The police had destroyed my bench.
What?
Police destroyed my fucking bench.
What? Bro, I told you the police is the enemy.
It's all good. What?
Holy shit.
I couldn't think. I'm glad they did it because I couldn't think of a better metaphor of the relationship of the Black community and the police. I really
Rome, for
couldn't think
people
of
who
nothing
don't
greater.
know,
All they do is come in our city and destroy.
Rome, for people who
You
don't
said
know,
what?
explain what the bench was. Explain what the for people who don't know. What was
Yeah, this bench is basically calling out the police budget and how much crime is actually solved nationally and whatnot. I guess they didn't like what I had to say. On the front, it said, the police budget, and then on the back it said, damn, what did it say?
Yeah, I found
No
it.
justice, no peace. All right.
There it is. I knew I saw your tweet about it, so I just went like, "This is they destroyed this." What? Wow. This is the new commie bench that Rome built.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Me and my son was going around. We was, hooking up the other ones, putting some blocks down because it was real windy one night. I didn't want them to fly or end up flying because some things are fucking heavy.
So for the people who fear mongering about crime, how does funding the police more so they can destroy benches like this? How is it protecting and serving anyone?
Yep.
What is this doing by destroying this bench? How is that reducing violent crime? Yep. I cannot wait for my debate with this guy. We moved it back to it's the next Tuesday. I'm debating this right wing over defund the police. How is that public safety? Well,
Yeah.
Who are you protecting? The cops' feelings? Sorry, Ron. Go ahead. I'm not.
No, it's all good. I walked up to the police department and I went in the dumpster and I got it because I seen it. I'm like, hold on, because I see construction workers. So I'm like, all right. I found the dumpster. I climbed up the dumpster and I see the back of it on there. The back of it not that bad as the bottom. So I pulled that motherfucker out. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm carrying it so I can sit it back and lean it against the pole. Some cops come out. Some cops turn the corner. They look at me, so I jumped at them. Like, what the fuck? Because I'm pissed. So I go and I try to find those two cops that just pulled in. Me and my son went back in the parking lot. We're trying to find these niggas. Nobody. Nowhere near to be found. Everybody in the fucking building somehow. But on some random ass days, these motherfuckers just be out. But now everybody is gone. And the two motherfuckers that just rode past that disappeared. But it's all good. Because tonight, after this show, I'm going to Home Depot. I'm going to go get some wood and I'm going to create a mold in the shape of a hammer and sickle. And we're going to put concrete next time. So nobody can ever move them. It's going to be heavy as shit. I'm going to make sure nobody ever be able to touch them. And if they do, all we're going to do is drop another one right back.
That's so fucking wild. So the cops destroying the private property of the proletariat. So the cops are there to protect the private property of the corrupt capitalists, but they are quickly show up to destroy our property. They steal our property via civil asset forfeiture. They destroy people's doors. Yeah. There's a long arc.
But we have to understand specifically what made that cop do that is because it said communism. This is a agent of capitalism. You have to understand that, because if that bench didn't say that person, he may have just passed on.
Yeah.
And destroyed some other bench. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it's saying communism gave him a reason to destroy that specific bench.
Yeah. And if it had been painted with the thin blue line and said support our cops and blah, 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 they probably would have took pictures. They probably would have took selfies with it and everything.
Yeah.
Right? But because it was we gotta take this down.
The truth.
It's like, what's the reason why you got to take it down? Because if it had a thin blue line, y'all would have been keeping it up. But it was only because of hate. The thing was, there was no other reason to take it down. In fact, it's a bench for people to actually utilize and sit on. It's actually something that's good for the community.
The people that was there at the bus stop at the time, they was pissed off. They was like, dude, I've been catching this bus for years now, for generations. Oh, dude, I've been catching this bus for a generation now. I ain't never seen a bench here. And first time they get it, you tell me the police. I'm like, yeah, I just talked to the construction.
Think about capitalism. Think about capitalism. They much rather the working class stand at that thing than for them to have a bench if it says communism. You see that? Yeah. They rather go send money to Ukraine than go spend money on people that need it in Compton. You see how capitalism works? They're spending billions on elections when they could spend billions to help somebody. You see what's happening? So Ron, we're talking about Stacey Abrams and just all of her fucking problems, the black male problem, and just a bunch of shit that's going on. And we're rounding out the end of this segment with this Tesla clip. I'm sorry, Teslin is her name. But she's spitting fire. So let's let her finish her fire spitting right here, and then I'll show the article about the corruption instead of playing the video. I also have the article, and we can just show the article, so we can move to the next thing. So let's listen to Tesla finish out her rant.
Also conservative, and that's just something they're going to have to deal with.
Well, according to New Hill reporting, Black voters are worried about being blamed for potential Democratic losses in today's midterms. They are begging Democrats not to fall into what they see as a longstanding pattern. Black voters get blamed after Democratic disappointments and ignored after Democratic wins. I mean, we talked about this a little bit, how there were some folks who worked really hard in 2020 to win Georgia for Democrats who said, look, once they turned around and didn't actually come through with the $2,000 checks and some of the other promises that the Biden campaign had made, the organizers weren't sure they were going to be able to turn folks out again. You know,
point multiple like both you Nick and JB brought up this point, or at least I remember you, Nick, bringing up this point. Like, do they think they forgot about the $2,000?
That's what I wanted to say.
Go ahead, Rome, go ahead.
Yeah, like, and misinformation isn't why people aren't voting. Misinformation is the reason people does vote, because if people was informed, there would be rebellion against this goddamn empire. Misinformation is what get people out there in those long ass lines for nothing. So I don't like how they say this. Of course, they're gonna find a way to blame us, say that we're dumb. We don't know what's better for us, what's best for us. Now, those same black voters in your state not only get played with the $2,000 checks, those same black voters was out there in a mass civil rights march for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Maybe their brother, maybe their sister, right? It's a lot of people that go under the radar. They might have been a voter just like a voter for you. But then you turn around and say, oh, we need to fund the police more. You don't think all those protesters like, hold on. No, that's not what we are saying. That's not the message here. Yeah. But then again, how do I know? I'm just a misinformed black man. Me no better. Me no, I don't know nothing.
They do the same thing, Rome, and Nick made this point. They do the same thing with Africa. They're just misinformed. They're doing this with China. They don't know what the hell. They're just you see the trope. They do it domestically and they do it internationally when it comes to black people. Go ahead.
Oh. No, they look at us and there is this trope where, oh, they're just dumb. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You gotta direct them what to do. See, that's what you gotta do with black people. See, they're not really bright people. So this is what you have to do. This is basically the trope that is constantly pushed our way. Like, we just don't know. Oh, we're just, we're misinformed. We're misdirected. We just don't know what to do. And the thing is that when really it's a lot of us are waking up to them and we're like, yeah, nah, none of y'all, we don't want none of y'all. And so they're just like, oh, we're just misinformed. But it's like, no, you both suck. That's what it is.
All right, let's play this last part. I fast forwarded to her last statement. And let's listen to Teslin.
Democrat Party, and they voted for Obama and then flipped with Trump to line up with their white men when Hispanics has consistently flipped.
This is a great point. Sorry, let me rewind it a little bit more. She began talking while they were still showing him. So let me.
They are not delivering on their promises because they have taken black voters for granted for decades. When you're getting over 90% of the black vote for decades without having to do a whole hell of a lot, this is the end result. Except the difference right now is that black people are becoming fed up with it. So if the Democrats don't get it together, this trend is only going to continue.
Yeah. But why is it? Let me ask you this, Bree. When white women flipped on the Democrat Party, and they voted for Obama and then flipped with Trump to line up with their white men, when Hispanics has consistently flipped, you know this by working on the Bernie Sanders campaign, that the Latino community in Florida voted to the right, that the Latino community in California voted to the left. Why are those groups looked at as strategic voters? Why are those groups looked at as, oh, they're just well informed and they're leveraging their vote? Why is it when it comes down to Black voters, and particularly Black men, it is this push on where you just don't know what you're talking about, or maybe if you just had a little bit more information, or perhaps you should just fall in line. That is
because they feel they own slaves' votes.
I swear. I was just about
They
to say
feel they own our vote. That's why it's a complete. This is why, because you're getting 76%, like Nick said, that's great numbers. Why are you saying you're behind with Black men? It's because they feel they own 100% of that shit.
That's doing bad.
And let's read.
I was just actually at a poll today.
Go ahead,
I was actually at a little whatever the fuck they do, the little election polls and all this shit. Well, the voting polls. I was up there because I had to meet my friend. He was working up there, and some dude, he was like, yeah, he handed me a flyer. He was like, vote Democrat straight down the ballot. I was like, oh no, you talking to the wrong guy. Like I can't vote even if I wanted to, man. If I vote, they'd be knocking on my door. But I was explaining. We was outside. I was explaining to him like the Supreme Court can make us judges. I was talking to CT, but I was explaining to everybody in a circle like the Supreme Court can make everybody slaves again just by pulling this back and pulling that back. Gay rights, all that shit. None of the people voted on. I was like, did we ever vote on being free Black people? Did we ever vote on this, that, as a people? No.
They just took abortion away. Yeah. Why couldn't they take the 13th Amendment away?
Yeah, they can at any time. At any time. And this is why I was saying that it was like somebody was like, abortion is on the ballot. I was like, no, abortion isn't on the ballot. Somebody who say they support abortion is on the ballot, just like people who say they support Medicare for all is on the ballot. But how can they say they can get these things delivered? What tactics have they said, and what strategies do they have to actually get abortion rights back on and as a law? So it can't be stripped away. So they can't be playing with our life like this, right? Nobody has the answer because there isn't one, and it never will be, because all of these things is just carrots on a stick, and you're on a treadmill, and it's on your hat, and you just don't know it. You just don't know it. Sometimes you just need to fall back to see it. Maybe it'll get you damn carrot.
Or fall off the treadmill to wake up. Sometimes that is a requirement too.
That is a problem that is much more deeper than just a political analysis, conversation. It is about, let's go ahead and tie men up on the pole and let's give them a shellacking. That's what this is. And we have to push back at that. And to Black men that are saying, hey, I want them to know that they need to respect us. So I'm glad that we get the blame. I say this, I want them to respect you, but respecting you is not blaming you. In a relationship, respecting you is saying, I will do better. I will start cooking. Yeah. I will do all the things I said I was going to do when I decided to marry you. Not saying, well, you should have did better. I will say with this, Boomerang said it best, the old school movie, love would have brought your ass home last night. And it's time for Democrats to show some love to Black voters, the same people that held them down for the last 60 years plus.
Right? I just want to know what can they actually do to Black and for Black communities? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing really, not anymore.
There's nothing that y'all can give us. We wouldn't even want you guys here if you did come, because we know it's some form of blackmail. We know it's going to come with some form of blackmail. Oh, hey, look at me, just like Governor Gretchen. Now that everybody's on her ass and she see that the minorities are not really enthusiastic because there is no boogeyman in the office. There is no boogeyman. So now all that fundraising, all that shit, she like, okay, I'm gonna do some infrastructure in the hood. You know what she did? She put speed bumps down on blocks that has more potholes than you can fucking imagine.
What?
He's fixing a little this, and that. But that shit ain't nothing. We've been fixing on these roads before I was born. There's been road on I-75 before I was born. That's nothing new. Get the fuck out of here. These people have nothing. There is nothing because they know if they was to actually deliver to the people, to the black communities, man, we're going to do too good. We're going to do too well, and we're not going to need them. We're not going to need their benefits. We're not going to be living in our hoods anymore. We're going to get our businesses, our LLCs and all that shit. They don't want us doing better. They need us in the position that we are in right now. That's why they looking like, hold on, we took everything. Why you guys aren't voting? Because you took everything while you was in control. But go ahead, y'all.
So I'm just going to show the article.
Oh, you mind if I show something real quick, CJ?
Just the title. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I want to share this because it's kind of related to the midterms. You had Elon Musk. Democrats been pissed. The segment is not about him, but I want to bring this up because I want to show you guys how these dumb capitalists think, and they know what they're doing. People keep saying Elon Musk is some smart, intelligent person. I heard Elon Musk speak about politics multiple times in global events. This guy is an absolute fucking moron. Yes, he may be an idiot savant, but this dude says stuff like this. I'm going to show you guys because everyone was talking about the fact that he endorsed Republicans. But look at the mindset. And Elon Musk is such a shit lip in so many ways. Elon said, to my independent-minded voters, shared power curbs the worst excesses of both parties. Therefore, I recommend voting for a Republican Congress, given that the presidency is Democratic. This is the guy people say is one of the smartest men alive. This is one of the dumbest political analysis I ever heard in my life.
What?
Think about what he said here. And I'm gonna break it down so you realize how it is completely devoid of all facts. So he's saying if you're independent minded, you should vote for Republicans because gridlock is good. CJ, panel, since when in American history has gridlock been good? Also,
never.
Also, what he's saying is objectively not true. Because what he said here, shared power curbs the worst excesses of both parties. No, it doesn't.
I really hate this job.
Did shared government stop the Afghanistan war that cost $300 million per day? Did the shared power stop the corporate bailout? No. This whole thing that bipartisanship is rare in Washington, that shit is bullshit. It's not true. Both parties are for supporting the police and funding them more.
What about that whack ass infrastructure bill? Weren't they so bipartisan on that? What happened? Like, they are bipartisan on everything. On dropping bombs, Democrats want to drop the same bombs Republicans want to.
Elon Musk is a Neanderthal. Like
that shit did make my head.
I got one more. I got one more here.
That's too dumb. That's too.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was just going through midterms. Yeah. So the next segment.
I got one more.
I'm just gonna.
The whole segment wasn't on there. I want to get you guys in before I move on to the next part because I want to show. But go ahead, JB. Add your part. I got another part. I want to share this story.
No, go ahead because I'm just dumbfounded. I
want to explain another concept to you guys. Capitalists want nothing more than ineffective government and gridlock. So Elon Musk, even though he's pretending to be dumb, he knows exactly what he's doing. There's nothing better for the rich than to have gridlock government because both parties work for them. So if you have a gridlock government, you have the government that already work for you, and they can't do anything for the poor. That's why the rich want gridlock government. That's why they love the two-party system, which is ineffective. Look at what the Chinese Communist Party and how much they are able to build and accomplish for their working class with their governing system that's completely different than ours, completely nationalizing the banks so they get to choose what sectors of industry should they invest in. So since all the banks in China is nationalized, they give out low rent and low mortgage deals to their proletariat. That's one of the many benefits of having a centralized planning model that is based in at least market socialism. But anyway, let's go to this tweet. This is from Peter Dow. And the reason why I'm showing this is because Peter Dow is an insider who now rails against the two-party duopoly, and now he brings up a concept that's very important to understand with these midterms. These capitalist popularity games, you shouldn't care who wins at all because they don't care who win at all. You guys understand? Katie Hobbs ran a campaign against Carrie Lake that was so bad that even Morning Joe and liberals was roasting her. Because they're like, are you going to do events? You're not going to debate your opponent? You're not going to show up? And the reason she does that, because, hey, if she wins, that's good. She's set for life as a senator, as a governor or a senator, whatever they were running for. Or if they lose, they get a lobbying position. They can work at MSNBC. It's a win-win. Yeah. So now this is from Peter Dow. And liberals going to pretend that, hey, that Elon
get to keep that campaign money.
And they're going to pretend that they really don't want Republicans to win. But I'm telling you guys right now, the number one thing that Joe Biden wants, the number one thing that Nancy Pelosi wants is for the Republicans to take the House and Senate. Now you guys
need a strong Republican Party, Nick.
Yes, they said it. Now I'm gonna read this tweet from Peter, and I'll pass it to you guys. And this is once again, he a former insider who now speak out against the two-party duopoly. He says, a dirty secret. As a former advisor in the belly of the establishment, I can tell you that Democratic leaders prefer a Republican Congress. Them leaders have one overreaching job: uphold the current system. And once again, Peter Dow worked in the Hillary Clinton campaign, was literally a Hillary Clinton insider, so he would know more than most. They want to uphold the current system, which keep them funded and reelected.
Yeah.
That involves enriching and protecting their big donors. We just did a George Soros breakdown. George Soros spent $128 million this election. The number two spender, $67 million. So he spent almost two times more than the second oligarch. But if you bring that up, they pretend you're being anti-Semitic. But anyway, they had to maintain the appearance of fighting the GOP. What better way for corporate Dems to maintain the appearance of fighting for the people while actually preserving the status quo than for the GOP to hold more power? That way, Dem leaders can blame Republicans for gridlock while keeping their donor class happy. Thus, you get quotes like this, which you already mentioned, Rome, where they say they want a strong Republican Party. The quote third down here. I think our country needs a strong Republican Party. Joe Biden said I need a Republican Party. Joe Biden called Mitch McConnell a rational Republican. Mitch McConnell is a man of his word and man of his honor. This is this year. The oldest quote on this is from November 2000. The one from 2011, but rest of them 2021 and 2022.
I remember while him and Obama was losing 1,000 seats, he was up here in Michigan campaigning for a Republican that won. A Trump Republican, I believe, also.
Yeah, like I remember you playing on the stream with CJ. I was watching you guys, but he said, I almost wish Democrats win, so they will have no more excuses. That's the last thing they gotta do. Then they're like, fuck, we gotta pull out another rotating villain. Damn, we gotta make another bad guy. All right, Senator from Utah, so you're next. So that's my short story. Just discussing why we shouldn't take this seriously. Like I see a lot of social democrats like, oh my gosh, super stressed, been up all night. I really hope Democrats win. This shit doesn't matter. It shit does not matter for the proletariat. If anything, we should just exploit the division, the capital, and use it as nothing but comedy, which the stream is. But JB, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I'm thoroughly convinced that the losses are intentional. It's going to be a red wave, but it's going to be because the Democrats actually want the red wave. That's what's going to happen tonight. And look, the polls are less than 2 hours away from closing here on the East Coast. It's going to be a red wave, and it's going to be exactly what the Democrats want. And they're going to be like, oh man, oh phooey, we lost. And then guess what? Guess what's going to happen? Then they're going to be like, well, you know what? If you guys want to, make sure we come back, donate $27 to our ActBlue. And then that's when the money's going to start rolling into, act blue once again for the Democrats again. So,
But remember, I was explaining this. They trade power every 4 to 8 years. These two parties, they trade power in between each other, and they're not losing because they actually gain millions and millions of dollars, millions or more of, if not thousands, or more followers, and they get to take a vacation until they get to take their seat back. So this isn't a loss for them. This isn't a loss for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a trade of power. Parties have been doing this, and I remember when they even traded sides. No, they do this. This is what happens when you are stuck with a two-party system. But
I want to CJ. We have a few super chats I can read while you prepare the next part. So I'm
just let me know.
I'm gonna just read the super chat that we have. Then I'll pass it back to you. Thank you for before they stack up too much. We appreciate all the super chats. Continue to leave some if you want to ask any questions or leave any comments. Thank you for the 199 Zach. Gridlock only stops good stuff. Vote third parties. Absolutely. Like, if I vote two-party, imagine voting for Joe. If I vote for Joe Biden, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Motherfucker bombing Africa. I'd be like, damn, I'm complicit with that shit. Anyway, thanks for the $5. Thanks for the $5. I know people watching like, damn, man, nigga vote. Then nigga always voting shaming us. Whatever, man. Live with your decisions. You guys know what you voted for. Thank you for the $5. Post hegemony. Musk once said that he's never afraid of the dark as a kid because darkness is just a lack of photons. The great genius of our generation. I've seen so many examples of this guy being an absolute dumbass, but Elon Musk's fans pretend he's like the next Tony Stark. It's like, in the comic, I'm a big Marvel comic guy. Like, in the comic, Tony Stark is smart. That's like the whole part of it. Like, he's a genius. He literally relies on his labor, and he was privileged because his family had riches that came from their emerald mine. He's not self-made. He's a rich brat who got lucky and stole people's work. And whenever I see the CEOs, people are like, oh my God, Elon Musk invented this. Elon Musk had this idea. No, Elon Musk engineer built that. Elon Musk employees built that. Elon Musk advisor had that idea. You guys think Elon Musk is doing that? The fact that Americans actually believe that Elon Musk is actually building shit and actually creating ideas and his company employed by a ton of geniuses, that shows that everyone in this country is fucking deeply unserious. He's not him, as long as every other CEO, not just Elon, every other CEO, their brilliance is the result of the work of the people under them. Thus, why should we give them credit? Every good thing that come out of Tesla, every good thing that Elon Musk built is because of his engineers, not because of him.
Yeah, because like I love to say, we have a lot of ideas, but those ideas don't become reality until you put your hands on them. So I can dream up a $1 billion idea. I have $1 billion of $1 billion ideas, but I can't get something like that popping unless you guys help me out, unless you guys build the foundation, because I damn sure can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looking at the way he talk, he can't do that shit. He don't know the first thing about no motherfucking engine or battery, whatever the fuck he think he building.
Can't even change a fucking tire, let alone plan shit. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you for the 279, Bernard. I'm a white manager, but share your politics exactly. Hopefully you're a class trader. And I'm going to say this. If you're a manager, if you see your employees stealing time, you did not see it.
You ain't see shit.
You didn't see it. So I'm not going to blame you for your position because everyone got to make money. That's not a revolutionary discipline thing to do to shame people. But I hope you're a manager that is at least aware and try to help the proletariat the best you can. And I love the fact that we get comments from we get comments like this all the time. I saw a comment the other day. I'm a 73-year-old grandma but I love your politics, and that's what we do this game for. I mean, I know we can get young black people to nod their head at us, but we can get people outside of our community. Like, there's someone, and me and CJ, we was talking about this. Some guy like, I'm from Scotland. I watch your show. I'm like, damn, Scotland. So I love that's why I do this. So I love to hear it. Some dude I'm in fucking Japan listening. I'm like, what? How do you find this? But anyway, we got a few more super chats. Now pass back to you.
VPN.
Thank for the 499. Rome is a beast. Yes, he is, and 100% correct. I said it earlier. Imagine Rome had a fraction of the money that Stacey Abrams did. Nigga, yeah, a fraction of a fraction. Anyway, we don't own anyone
over. Do you know, nigga? What I would have, man. So many fucking cities, so many states. We can do so much, and what I learned is it don't take much. Like what I learned from being an activist and actually raising money, you know, helping people and shit. They make it look as hard as possible because they don't want you to get any ideas. Once you get your feet on the ground, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is fucking easy. This is just like, boom, like we don't need $1 million to go and help a community. You know what I'm saying? You don't. And you don't need $100 grand. If you do it right and your propaganda sticks, you already helped that community. It's easier than what you would think. That's why I always tell people, just fucking do it. But if I had that money, I know she's a millionaire by now. And I always say, if I was rich, I would go broke because I would just be handing out so much fucking money. And I would be building so much infrastructure. Shit that can't take down. My bus stops would be indestructible. You're gonna need a fucking but yeah, go ahead, man.
We just got this one in. Hopefully I didn't miss any. If I skipped you, it's not out of malice. I did because I missed your super chat. Just saying a heads up. I did not intentionally skip anyone. Thank you for the $10. RBN gives me life and reason for hope. People out there get what's truly happening. Keep it up. And please get Bree's guest fire breather on. Yeah. That's definitely a guest that we're going to see down the line. And once again, that's the reason why we do this. Anyone that we can inspire. That's why we do this. So a few more.
Oh, never mind.
Just a few more. I know we probably got to wrap up soon. So let's get to this. Is a few more. I'll put some of these on, but I at least want to get a shout out to him.
This nigga Nick always trying to put us in a 2-hour bubble. Nigga, we trying to go off. No, I'm playing.
Hey, you guys can stay. You guys can stay if you want. Here, you guys can stay if you want. Thank you for the $2. Black and the Empire. Nope. Hillary said we got fooled by the Russians.
Who said squirrel?
I told you Putin called all over. Damn, you didn't get that phone call from Putin? Putin called me. He ain't call y'all. He told me don't vote.
Bro, I keep my interview with RT. That's my pinned tweet, just so I can keep liberals fucking pissed off. I kind of trolling them. I want them to be like, and a few of them took the bait. They're like, oh, this motherfucker's RT. Like, yeah, I'm gonna let you. I just do that. Let you guys know I don't fuck with y'all. I don't fuck with y'all. Yeah, I already know. I don't know what I'm doing. Thanks for $5. Tip your mic. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm learning as I go. Thank you for the suggestion, my friend. Thank you for the 199. I'm gonna try to speak through this a little faster. From Rodrigo, friend of the show. I've seen quite a few of your super chats. RBN growing past the NAFO channel, the Vanguard. No comment. No comment. Once again, I met the Vanguard people. They're friends, but
fuck that nigga. We up. Hell yeah, nigga. Hey! No play.
No one but criticism though. No one but criticism though. Thank you for the 499. Cool blue. What JB mentioned has me thinking of is realignment. Party changes of voters in the R versus D coalition. X R's for the D's. X Democrat for the Republican. Maybe I should say the whole thing. Maybe it'd be super confusing if you only fucking listen to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But thanks for the super chat. And we only got this last one from Roger Meadows, friend of the show. Thanks for the $5. Nick, what you said about SOCDEM loses debate, Second Amendment, to a socialist economy, it's proven. That's what my rant earlier. You would never. That's why you would never see like David Pacman. You would never see David Doe. You would never see TYT invite me on. You would never see that happen because social democrats are in.
Hold on. Don't
communists or Marxists.
You might. We might blow up so big that they have no choice but to acknowledge us. Because right now, they always say, what? Jimmy Dore and them. We know who the fuck y'all talking about. We know who the fuck y'all talking about. Oh, the Jimmy Dore crowd. We ain't no motherfucking Jimmy Dore crowd, motherfucker. We our own fucking shit. You know, but That's what they mean. But I believe, like, dude, you're gonna have to acknowledge us. You know what I'm saying? From other podcasters, news organizations, and even politicians. Because Sabine had Rokana on. They know that we are here. They know that we are here. They watch us because we watch them. You know how the game goes.
All right, CJ, I'll pass it back to you. I'll just put this last super chat up because it just came in. Have you guys had a chance to check out the biological weapons in Ukraine? There are reports that those weapons target specific ethnicities, the Slavic.
Wow.
What surprised me, Ukraine is a fascist regime. And there's a tweet I ratioed that crazy warmonger. Not ratioed him, but I got like 1,300 likes last time I saw, because he was like, you gotta make sure you go out and vote because Ukraine is fighting for their right for democracy. So how dare you guys not vote? I'm like, nigga, Ukraine is not a democracy. Zelensky banned opposition parties. Here's the
Nick, that's another great point of why the black vote is low. Ukraine. Yeah. Everybody I talk to do not want war. They don't want war. They know better. Even the people that's not into politics, they know that they don't want war with Russia. And I don't think the Democrats did really well in their messaging with especially with all them Nazis and whatnot. People know about the Nazis, man. They know about it.
Yeah, you know, this guy said Ukrainians are dying every day to preserve the right to vote. You have no excuse not to vote tomorrow. Like, sir, Zelensky literally banned opposition parties and opposition media outlets. And to your point, I'll pass it to you, CJ. You know, in the whole blaming black men thing, you notice at no point during that coverage did they go on the ground and talk to black men and ask them why they're not voting Democrat. And I'm gonna ask you guys, why do you think they didn't do that? Because they don't want their audience to hear the real answer.
They're gonna run into CJ and JB like, hey, I can tell you why. It's like I can picture JB now because me as a gay black man in America.
I
don't feel like they really representing me or trying to.
Is that what I sound like?
My name is JB. I have a very deep voice and I talk very proper, even though I'm from Florida.
So CJ, you have anything else to share before we wrap? I'll probably gotta go to your soon too.
Are JB? Are you guys staying?
I can because I'm not sure if we got to any of the Rothman comments. I can probably go into those too.
Yeah, you and Ron can close.
Okay.
So tomorrow, I'm gonna do my announcement real quick. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on George Galloway's Mother All Talk shows. Perfect timing because they about asking me about the midterm elections. So I'm gonna let these motherfuckers know in the UK know what's up. So George Galloway got one of the biggest talk shows in the UK. So they said they want to hear an American perspective, so they about to get the black radical perspective. I'm gonna tell them really the real reason why black people don't fuck with the Democrats. I'm super hyped about that. So that's tomorrow at it'll be 4:10 Central Time. They have the live show, so you guys can check it out live. I'll probably join CJ a little for at least an hour, maybe before that. We see. But that's all I have. I'm gonna take myself out. I'll pass it to you guys.
Good shit, Nick. Good.
All right, so I'll play this video.
You did a good job, bro.
Kornacki be with us. He's over at the
Billboard. Do a good job.
Okay, so then here, we'll play the couple of videos because there's anyway. I'll play this video here
this morning, and Steve, let's talk about the races that we're going to see.
Yeah, an interesting range of possibilities just in terms of that question of when we're going to know. And a reminder, we say every vote counts, every seat counts here. 50-50 Senate, Republicans needing just 5 seats to take the House. That's the closest the minority party's been in a midterm in almost a century coming into a midterm. So when do we start getting some clarity? Well, here are some key early states tonight, I think, to take a look at 7 o'clock Eastern time. The polls are going to close in Georgia. Now, it did take a long time in 2020 to get the results called in Georgia. But the key here is that there have been some changes in how they count the vote or how they're planning to count the vote and release the vote in Georgia that could get a sped up count. So it could be in that 7 to 8 o'clock hour tonight out of Georgia, we're getting a significant amount of the result. Of course, the wild card, as you heard in that report, is if neither candidate gets to 50%, we may not have a winner tonight, but we may know if there's going to be a runoff or not. But Georgia, we could get a lot of votes early tonight, maybe more than we did in the past. At 7:30, Ohio and North Carolina are both going to close. These are Senate races where Democrats are trying to flip Republican seats and where Democrats probably come into today as underdogs. So again, we should get a fair amount of vote reported out quickly in both of these states. And what you're looking for here in Ohio and North Carolina is, are there signs that Democrats are overperforming, overachieving? Because these are the kinds of states Democrats would be winning or would be very close to on a good night for them, and a night when they're overachieving. So that could be portending how the rest of the night might go in other states. So keep an eye on those. Then you go to the flip side of it. What states are going to keep us awake the longest tonight and really for the week? Pennsylvania, you mentioned 2020. It got called in the presidential election, 11:30 a.m. the Saturday after. Might be a little bit faster. They're allowing the counties to count overnight. They're encouraging them to. And then Nevada, Arizona, I just think those are going to be the longest. And you're not talking hours. You're talking potentially days. And we could be waiting on Senate control for either or both of those states.
All right, Steve Kornacki. Steve, thank you. Long night ahead for you guys.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we covered some of the other stories because the Stacey Abrams story took a long time. Go ahead, Ron.
I'm sorry, but I don't see Ohio or North Carolina going to any Democrat. Not in these times. Not in these times. And they
Who's in North Carolina? Oh, you talking about what's the black guy name? Mandela is the one running in Ohio, I think. Okay, go ahead.
I don't see Ohio turning blue anytime soon. Like if you used to see, like every time Democrats get in control, everything get worse here in the Midwest. Like if you're from the Midwest, you know what we have been through with the Democratic Party, the relationship that we have with the Democratic Party. And this is why a lot of states are, they say Michigan is purple and whatnot, because, it's like people always give them a chance and then they always fuck up. So states like North Carolina and, other states like Ohio have stayed away from turning purple because of the fact that Democrats always fuck up the job. We always lose jobs. And what really hit us the hardest, people are still feeling the the NAFTA deal. People are still feeling what happened after the NAFTA deal. And if you can see the outcome of the NAFTA deal in the Midwest with our infrastructure, our jobs that used to be, our homes that was there, everything is gone now. And it was all done with with the Democrats in power. And I don't see North Carolina and Ohio following those steps. No way.
What's your prediction? What's some of your predictions, JB, for these elections? Maybe you want to tackle Florida or any other races, but I'm curious to know what do you predict to happen in some of the Florida races?
Sure. Before I get to that, I just like to also add that whole segment with Steve Kornacki, where he was going over the races and the projections of what's going to be happening in each one of these races. If you notice that, especially in North Carolina, they only showed the Democrat and Republican. Did you guys notice that Matthew Ho, who is also on the ballot, who's a Green Party candidate that's running for Senate in North Carolina, was not also displayed on there? That was intentional. That's to show that they do not want to give any attention anywhere to anybody who's independent or third party as well. So even on election day, the corporate media is also doing propaganda to drive you away from voting for anybody outside of the duopoly. Now, with that being said, as far as my predictions for this evening, Oz is going to win in Pennsylvania. Fetterman's going to lose, okay? Because Fetterman, Oz, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. It doesn't matter. Same thing is going to happen in Georgia. I honestly think that Herschel Walker is either going to win or Warnock is going to barely slide past, barely. But I honestly do think that Walker may end up eking out a win. I think that in our gubernatorial race here in Florida, I think DeSantis is going to win comfortably because nobody gives a shit about Christ. Why? Because Christ was a Republican governor of Florida, and then he changed to Democrat, and now he's running as a Democrat. It's like, what's the difference between him and DeSantis? There's really nothing. I honestly think that my representative, Val Demings, I think she's going to lose the Senate race. And because she's no longer running in her seat, I think that Democrat is going to win for my district. And Demings, who's a cop, she's going to lose against Rubio. And Rubio's going to stay in his seat. He's going to retain his seat. He's going to, I think he's going to win so-so. So that's what my predictions are going to be, honestly. But ultimately, one thing I can say for sure is that the working and poor people, we're all losing.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen, Rome, Oz, and Fetterman, and Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock? What do you think is going to happen in those two races?
All of these actors, it's just like, why can't they, like, you would think people would just understand how dumb this shit is. And Trump wasn't the only actor that was a president. Shit, they worship Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
All these motherfuckers, it's so dumb. Oh my God, it's so dumb. This is so dumb. We live in a dumb country, but my predictions for this dumbass country is annihilation from the own humankind. No, I'm playing. But I say Herschel Walker is probably going to win. I think so. I don't want it. I don't like the other Democrat. But goddamn, America love their actors. I think all the actors are going to win.
Herschel Walker.
I think all the actors are going to win. Like,
so you think Oz is going to win too? Because do you consider him an actor?
Yes,
you think
Oz is an actor. He's not a real doctor.
Yeah.
He's going to win. America loved their actors.
So that's Republicans winning both of those races. You have. Yes. I have the same thing. I don't see the
Walker. They don't have the it factor, especially Fetterman. With them lame ass jokes, with them whack ass clothes. Like, you don't have to dress like us to try to talk. Like, no, you're doing too much. We know you.
To me, he sold out too much to the establishment that he's not going to get the left, that the progressives he needs to come out. He sold out.
When he sold out to Israel, when people found out that he ran out on a black man with a fucking shotgun,
yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool on that guy.
Like, he lived in a
guys, but listen,
this cracker got really pulled out a motherfucking gun. If you voted for that motherfucking cracker, nigga, shame on you. Shame on you.
They voted for Joe. They
voted for Joe Biden. So, yeah.
But I gotta take off. Both of y'all can stay if you want. I gotta go pick up my daughter. But it was something. What's happening tomorrow is Wednesday. Oh, tomorrow is the thing with Nick going on the show with Galloway. What's his name? Galloway.
George Galloway.
Yeah. We're at 527 likes, so on my way out. Damn. Can we push to 550? That's only 25 more. Can we push to 550? Let's give Rome and JB 25 more likes as they finish up the stream. Also, I didn't say this earlier, join our Substack. It's scrolling at the bottom. I'll put it on the screen here, but it's join our Substack. If you're watching this on replay and you're like, damn, I wish I saw this live, here's our Substack and our Patreon, but join our Substack and you'll get notifications of that. And I'm going to pass it to you, JB. I'm going to head on out. And I think tomorrow we'll be back Nick may join, and we'll be talking about the election results and who won. So we'll know by then tomorrow. But good luck with the rest of the election coverage. I don't know what else. Maybe some polling, but good luck with the rest of the stream. I will be watching as I go pick up my daughter, and I will check out. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
CJ.
Thank you, CJ, for carrying it over to me. Thank you so much for continuing on. We'll be finishing out this hour for, basically the election coverage for here on RBN. I have Rome with me. Just so good to stay with you, bro. One of the things that I wanted to touch on was I wanted to get to some of the tips on Rockfin as well before we exit out, because I wanted to, get some of the perspective of people who are watching on Rockfin too. So first off, we have a few comments on Rockfin. Dick on Rockfin says we should have no talk about Semitism or anti-Semitism until we have a congressional count of members under signed oath and other pledge to State of Israel together. If Sister Cynthia McKinney is to be believed, it is likely close to 465 House plus 100 Senator. Thank you so much. Let me see. Also, thank you, David Boteller, for the tip on Rockfin, says Revolutionary Blackout Network. We see the tip. Thank you so much. Tom asked, do elections really matter? George Carlin had a decent line on that. Absolutely. George Carlin was the man. Milburn Stone says, does Stacey Abrams have a dual Israeli citizenship? Probably. And thanks, Free Thinker. We love to give you guys some joy. Joy is revolutionary. Let me see. I think there's another tip on Rockfin that I also want to make sure I get to before we exit off here. It says, Free Thinker says, RBN, you guys are cracking me up today. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Free Thinker. 59. Almost close to 69. You know what I'm saying? But thank you so much for that. You know what I'm saying, Ro? No, I'm not gonna read that one. See, Hemp Car says, has Bobby Seale ever been on the show? No. Would like to have some more former or present Black Panthers on.
People usually don't reach out to us as much as you would think they really should. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We really reach out more, and whatnot. But it's all good. We know how it is out here. People always feel like it's competition, but we are communists. We don't give a fuck about none of these worlds that these people are in, none of these echo chambers that these people are in. We are just trying to, reach the people and teach the truth no matter what. And like CJ and Nick was talking yesterday about having about TYT and how they are having Matt Gaetz on. Now, I better see an uproar for real. Like when we had Jackson Hinkle on here, just to basically set him right and talk to him, trying to see where his mind is at and whatnot. These people had an uproar, said that we was collaborating with fascists and this and that. Like what? You act like do he work for RBN now, or what the fuck is y'all talking about? It was a fucking conversation, but this shit it's really going to show you guys. Yeah, it's really going to show you guys. How Black people was treated in the media, man. Like we will continue to call this shit out, man. Just like with our former name, Fred Hampton Leftist. I guarantee 90% of the people who got mad about our name didn't know a damn thing about Fred Hampton. These people, the same people, was mad at us because we was calling out, AOC, Bernie Sanders, et cetera, They're using that shit to go against us and harass the chairman of the Black Panther Party to be mad at us. And from the outside looking in, if I was the chairman, I'll probably get fed up too, getting caught up in this Twitter beef bullshit, whatever. Because he did see our show. He seen Dr. Cornel West on the show. Anthony Clark had showed him. He watched the show. He liked what he seen. He liked what we were saying. But see, the thing is, these people, you know, try to throw dirt on our name at the same time and say, "Hey, they're making money. They're making money off of your father's name. What money?
Yeah.
What money? Right? But they only wanted to take us down because we weren't in line with them. They only wanted to take us down because we weren't in line with them. And like I said, I better see a fucking uproar about TYT not only platforming, that's what y'all say, right? We're platforming fascists, right? A fucking fascist, racist, pedophile. Get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not talking about Vosh. I'm talking about motherfucking Matt Gaetz.
Yeah. I also want to get to a couple of chats as well. Brian says it took this white man 70 years to get to where you guys are. Nice to meet you, Brian. Nice to have you. Welcome to RBN. So good to see you as well. Cobra Commander says, move heaven and earth to defend the life of Chairman Rome. Amen.
Hey, you know, I feel a certain way. I feel a certain way about the name Chairman. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let it roll because I can't find no other name that's really cool enough to replace it.
Yeah.
But I do feel some kind of way about
it's all love.
Yeah, it's all love. And I do have a party, but I don't know, it just feels weird.
I got you. Maybe when you grow some grays, you know, because
you know,
Roman's younger than me, so
maybe my beard started looking like yours a little bit. I can call myself a chairman, but I'm still, I don't know. I'm not even an OG yet. I still got a lot to learn.
Ron, wait till you get to daddy status. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck you. I got more kids than you.
Okay. By the way, just to let you guys know, I actually talked about earlier about the whole issue with Matt Gaetz being on TYT as well. TLDR, I think it's all a bunch of hypocritical bullshit. And just in case, if you guys actually want to see it, then I will also share, my channel if you guys want to go to my channel.
But Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dore had the Boogaloo Boys on. Okay, and you got a nigga that right. They got power in the fucking government. You see the levels of this shit? And motherfuckers was mad at me because the Boogaloo Boys came to one of my fucking cookouts. I didn't invite these niggas. They came out. I didn't kick them out. I told them what I wanted them to do. I told them how I wanted them to fight and die. That's what I told them. But they like, oh, Rome, you're doing that. Okay, well, let's vote for Jim Crow, Joe. Nigga, me talking to a whole bunch of white boys you just killed a whole bunch of black people. You just got a whole bunch of black people killed, but that's worse than me talking to a whole bunch of radical white boys to get their motherfucking mind right. The fuck out of here. Y'all niggas y'all want us to arm white supremacy because y'all feel comfortable, because y'all feel warm under the bosom of white supremacy. We don't feel that same warmth. We don't feel that same love. We don't. And this is why the voter turnout, it is how it is now. It's getting lower and lower because black people are finally waking up to this fucking bullshit. I mean, I can't even say this because the majority of black people don't vote, but the black voters that do vote is turning their fucking back because they have gotten nothing. Generations.
Yeah. The thing is that a lot of us are waking up, and a lot of us have been awoke for quite a while. And some of us, even if we did want to vote, we can't because, well, we have records, and the Democratic Party and Republican Party made that happen so that we can't actually regain our right to vote once we get out of the pen. So
And they need you to be a slave. They need you to be a slave. They lock you up in them prisons for nothing, for a little bit of nothing. Get you to fucking, like, they need us to do everything but get smarter, but get more powerful.
Yep. I just want to give attention to this comment. Lisa, thank you so much. Lisa says, JB, watch out for Nicole. Yes, we have subtropical storm Nicole on its way this evening, and the subtropical storm should be over us until at least Friday evening.
Oh my God, man.
Yo,
JB, get the fuck out of Florida!
I don't care what anybody says. Climate change is real. It's real. And capitalism is ruining our planet. And we literally have a tropical storm after hurricane season ended. Hurricane season is from June to November. And we're 8 days into November, and we got another tropical storm coming in. 8 days into November, right? So when people talk about, oh, well, you know, climate change is just a natural occurrence, not like this. The scientists have been saying this for a long time. And so guess what? Now, guess who's going to get the brunt of the damage and who's going to have to face the influx and, you know, and rental insurance and flood insurance and all that? It's going to be a lot.
I just want to say, JB, it's a natural occurrence. It's a natural reaction from our actions, right? So nature is trying to shake off the disease that the humans have gave it. So yes, this is nature, but it's only like this because she's trying to shake this bullshit off.
Yeah,
you know, it's a reaction to all of the fucking bombs that we hit her with, all of the pollution and, you know what I'm saying, all the toxic waste that we put in her oil, in her oceans. So yes, it's nature, it's natural, because the earth reacts to our actions. And we shouldn't be doing this to her. We should be treating the earth right. But money over earth, money over people, money over every fucking thing. This is how these people think. They don't care where their money come from. They just know that they get money.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Bizarro Joe. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Yeah, so as far as, you know, everything that's going on right now, especially, you know, with the midterm elections, you know, whatever you guys think is going to happen, you know, just know that, like I said earlier, even if you didn't vote, or let's say you voted, but you were like, I'm just going to vote for, you know, the ballot initiatives, or I'm just going to vote for whoever's, you know, independent or Green Party or something like that, or third party, you know, if you just did that, or if you didn't vote at all, right? One thing I want to recommend to everybody to do is do some type of mutual aid, even if it's an emotional form of mutual aid, by saying something kind to someone that you think may need it today. Hell, you made some fresh potato salad. Go ahead, knock on your neighbor's door and be like, hey man, I made some potato salad. I want to share it with you.
Who made it? Who made the potato salad? That's what I'm going to say. You knock on my door with potato salad. I want to know who made the motherfucker. You better come with some pizza, bro, because potato salad is sacred in my family. We don't play that shit. You can't just come to my house with potato salad. It might have raisins in it, bro. I ain't playing that shit. I work too hard not to have raisins in my potato salad. Damn it!
All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my daddy. I had to fight my brothers. I had to fight my uncles. I lost Harpo. God knows I do. But I get them there. But no, let them beat me. Yeah, so, but yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to do the whole potato salad thing. My fault, Rome. My fault. I'm sorry. Won't do that.
Better come with some tacos, some burgers, or some hot dogs, some pizza, nigga, something. Who made this fucking potato salad? All right.
Okay. All right. X-nay on the Opedo salad A. X-nay. Sheesh. Next potato salad. One time, this nigga want to go crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, all the adults left. They left me with your ass. They're like, all right, we're gonna leave Rome on JB ass.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Again, before I go, wait. Don't none of y'all move. Hang on. I gotta share this with y'all. So, on my channel, I finished Blood in My Eye by George Jackson. So I was reading that on Rockfin exclusively. I'm done with it. It's done. If you guys want to go on my Rockfin channel. I'll be continuing to read Dirty Truths by Michael Parenti on my channel. So if you guys want to see it on my channel, also go ahead.
JB,
what's up?
You need an editor, bro. You need to do these. You need to do some recordings, record it, and then have somebody produce some bitches, bro.
When I can pay somebody, then I'll do it. But for
niggas
now,
will do it for free, bro. Just put up some.
I know. Look, man, I want to make sure I pay somebody a living wage if I'm gonna have them do it.
Bro, the money you already know, nigga. I haven't paid you in a year. It took us a year for me to pay you. You know how this shit go. But once you build that ground, the money will come. We're not worried about that. The people will work, but the money will come. You're gonna do a great job. I believe in you. But you need to produce that shit, bro. You need to just read them bitches. Like, if you can read that bitch in a whole day, if you can, and just put them bitches out. You know what I'm saying? Like on some true crime shit. You know what I'm saying? You got this book, you got that book, and then they got little things in the background that's, you know what I'm saying, that's bringing it all together. But I believe in you. I think somebody is out there that's watching right now that might want to work for you, that can make that true, man. It'll be something beautiful. The money will come, but hard work bring the money, and we know that as the proletariat.
Thank you for that, Rome. That means a lot. Also, the newest book that I'm reading on my channel, boom, Autobiography of Assata Shakur. I'll be starting that reading on my channel. So be there, be square. I'm going to be reading it. So I am so excited to get into this book. Y'all just don't know. I would love to interview Miss Assata Shakur after reading this book. I know she's still living in Cuba. If Miss Assata Shakur, if you see this, please, God, my email is jamesbfauntleroy@outlook.com. Please, I would love to talk to you. But yeah, so that's one thing that I'll be doing soon. So, look, what you got coming up soon, Rome?
I'm building a library.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the building is already up.
I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book called Reading Rainbow. I can read any place.
Ways to know.
Race go. Reading Rainbow.
I can be anything. But yeah, we building the motherfucking library. Not only do we got the library, we got the motherfucking garden. I'm trying to get that in, you know what I'm saying, into one. But also the way I learned how to pay the motherfucking building. But the tax service is not going to only be a tax service. It's going to be a program to teach Black people how to do their own taxes, because that is one thing that they don't teach us how to do. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, and the newspaper had contacted me. The Detroit Press, they contacted me. Yep. So I might be on the newspaper. I was supposed to be on an article about on Washington Post, but they probably seen all that communism, and they was trying to. I think they was trying to find a way to go around it, but it was like every picture of me was like in a flag, with a flag, holding up a flag. And they couldn't really push their own propaganda. So we're gonna. I'm talking to the lady now. Hopefully, I can get that front page, you know, and
Got it.
That'll be beautiful, man. That'll be beautiful. We can get more people on it. The GoFundMe is on my Twitter page, Unholy Rome. The E is a 3. You can find it on there. I'm pretty sure if you don't want to give to GoFundMe, you can go give directly to me because I'm headed to Flint also. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. I'm headed to Flint. I'm doing too much. I'm headed to Flint. December 22nd. I'll be in Flint giving out water, not only water, but water filters, water purifiers. And we're gonna try to connect with the people out there. And
Yeah. And here is Rome's Twitter. So he is, here's his, make sure to donate to his tour for the poor. So this is his Twitter right here.
I got 17K.
Yep,
damn.
You got 17K.
What the hell?
Yep, highlight there. That's his tag on Twitter. So go ahead and also make sure to give Rome a follow. All right. So, let me put the link inside the chat too, just in case. So, but yeah,
people usually stay away from me, man. They follow everybody else. They don't try to follow me because they like, nigga, I'm gonna end up on the list following this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so with everything said, we're going to get our asses out of here.
No, we staying. We staying here.
Yeah.
What you thought? You ain't going nowhere, Mr. JB. We're gonna sit here and talk to our fucking comrades all day. This is 24/7 stream.
Motherfucker, I'm going to eat. And if you do not let my ass go, Rome.
But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all why the police actually broke my bench. See, the hypocrisy of this democracy and the police.
All right, everybody. What it is, what it sells. Lead the world better than you found it. Smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them, and stay revolutionary. Bye.
Oh, shit.